The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everyone, to the official space section of the chart.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
Sir, you're out of order. Out of order. I show you out of order.
Hey, everybody, I'm Michael.
I'm Charles.
I'm Ian.
And we're your real debaters this week. Hello, listener. Welcome back to another episode where the art of cinema meets the quote-unquote power of debate. This week, first of all, let's just take a moment, Charles. Welcome back, Ian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. What have you? Ian's been making stuff.
Speaking art.
I'm making an Instagram story.
He is? Hi, Instagram worlds. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Yeah, no, this is the only time we ever get footage is when he's in
Viral,
the room.
baby.
I know.
Viral.
Yeah. Four dudes, there's three of us. I don't know where the fourth is. Three dudes sitting around a basement on a Monday night. That's going to go viral.
Zoom
The fourth
for
one.
sure. Where's the fourth one?
fourth
In
one's
honor of who's
Yeah.
ever not here today.
Yeah.
Part of the new year we did the year in review yesterday. A lot of fun. It was like a 2.5 hour episode. We did like best TV, worst TV, best movie, worst movie. We gave away some funny awards. We gave away the best end credit trailer of the year, which Deadpool and Wolverine won.
Oh, yeah.
For the send off.
That makes sense.
That was a really good
via
one.
Green Day doing the time of our lives,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's
Yeah.
grad song. So we did that. We had a lot of fun. So I figured let's continue with why January sucks so much. Besides the depression, besides the darkness, like we're in central Canada. If you're outside of the country, listener, and it is fucking dark by 4:30. We are all lacking vitamin D.
And they make us do this twisted thing called daylight savings time,
Right.
which is even more
They
fucked
trick
up.
you into thinking it's earlier than it fucking is.
I
But
wake up in darkness. I go home in darkness.
Yes.
How is that good for me?
I do not enjoy any of that. So
It's horrible.
I thought, all right, well, what else sucks in January? And what sucks in January is dump month.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what dump month is, listener, dump month is basically when a bunch of movies get dumped in January, and it's like financially, I'm sure there's reasons. I think, based on people's attitudes and, what they're doing in their lives, there's not much, like, we'll get into it. There's a definition of it. But what we're going to be talking about is the best movies of dump month. And maybe we'll figure out, should they have been released at a different time? Should we have got them in the summertime slate? Should we have got them right before award season? Should we got them Christmas Day? Right? Like, it's so funny how Christmas Day is like a big deal, but then January 8th is like dump month. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
The magic's gone, as you said.
Yeah, right. Like
Totally.
it's a depressing topic to talk about.
It's like,
Specifically Christmas Day this year.
yeah.
Like it's just
There's this motion of like, all right, fuckers, get back to work now.
Yeah,
It's
and-
over. And you're like, you really feel it. Like,
and it's this huge high of like holidays, people,
Yeah.
Stimulation overload, and then blah.
Yeah.
There's nothing to look forward to in life.
Except watching bullshit
And the
on the screen.
Yeah. Well, except Beast War or Beast Games.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you watching that?
Yeah, baby.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll get to it.
is that YouTube asshole?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be
That
fun.
was funny.
Okay, let's get the bullshit out of the way.
The sincerity was so good.
That being said, we've got some stuff we want to tell you about. Ian's film got reviewed on RogerEbert.com, which is a pretty fucking
It's
cool
wild.
thing, man. Like,
Yeah.
do they tell you that they're doing it before they post?
Yeah. The guy. It was an interview. Like he's been a fan for a while, and he's been kind of following me over the years.
What's his name?
Colin.
Colin.
Colin. He wrote the article. I can't think of his last name, but he was super nice, and he.
It's actually on our Instagram.
Ooh,
If
but
I had my phone, I'd bring it.
I was gonna say he doesn't have Instagram. I learned that because I was like, I'll tag you.
I just put the article on our links.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very nice guy, and he was like he saw that it went on Vimeo recently in the States only. So he was like, oh, can I like, it was a staff pick, so he saw it pop up, and he's like, I want to review it. We don't do much shorts. We do like a special shorts section. Yeah, if you don't mind, like, I want to do like a detailed like little article about it. So, and yeah, he just really loved the film and has been a fan, and it was cool because like that, a site like that gets a lot of traction. It's just like people like
Roger Ebert is a trusted name.
Exactly, like it's one of the
Yeah.
like in my listing of like bucket list things, get talked about or get written about in Ain't It Cool News. and slash film, and then like Roger Ebert, like it's on the list of things Variety. So that one is like a cross out now. But like it was cool. I got a lot of nice random messages from strangers being like, "Hey, I started following you because I read the article and I watched the movie." So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, and it, like I don't know, it's just that is like one of the most legitimate. It's a name that people know, like
especially from our generation.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Siskel and Ebert, like that was
those are the two guys that taught
thing.
me about you can both watch the same thing and come away with different opinions.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
I learned about Roper. I was a Roper person because Siskel, but only because like I did know Siskel, but the show that I started watching was Roper. I would have probably watched it back in the day, but when I discovered the show, I was like, oh my god! It was on Sunday nights at 9:30, and I always have to tape it. And I would keep the episodes and rewatch. And that's how I learned about Memento. That's how I learned about all these like niche movies.
That's awesome.
So cool. But yeah, but like that was he was a person of my generation to which it's like. Well, I looked up, and that's who I learned about movies from. There was no internet.
We've argued their reviews before on the show.
Yeah.
We're like,
we have. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Is this should Roger regret how he's reviewed XYZ movie?
They came out with like a yearly book, I'm pretty sure, or
they
like
did.
a year, right?
Yeah,
like
they
every
did.
year they did like their top and
But
like
they
their
hated
sum
each
up.
other.
Yeah, man,
They
it was
were, like,
great.
contentious.
Watching their show was awesome,
Right?
Yeah.
You
Because
knew
even when they both agreed on a movie, there was still this like
disdain.
Okay, all right.
Well,
okay.
like Ebert gave Spider-Man the first one a thumbs down.
He did, eh?
But Roper gave
He
it a
also
thumbs
said Jim
up.
Carrey wasn't funny.
He also said that. He also
And then apologized for saying Jim Carrey
Yeah,
wasn't
he did.
funny.
Yeah, that was a big moment, and Jim Carrey still quotes that moment as like big for his career.
That's so funny.
Yeah, getting an apology from him. Yeah.
He gave Coyote Ugly a thumbs up.
Ooh,
I give Coyote
he
two
likes
thumbs
that.
They got. I remember because I remember watching it and being like, I wonder if this is gonna be good. Actually, here's
Ugly.
It
here's
does
like here-
have some heart.
That Leanne Rams.
Can I say this is like a really embarrassing deep dive quick story is like I remember renting Bring It On, Coyote Ugly. I was probably 12, 13. A very puberty.
Yeah.
Very excited to watch these movies, but
Why?
for those reasons. But the situation was something like I think I rented them with my family or something because they let me pick and they were like, "Here, these two, they're popular, they just came out." And so but here's my thing though. I remember thinking, "Oh, Coyote Ugly's probably the one I don't want to watch with them."
Bring It On's way worse.
So we put on Bring It On, and it was so hard to watch with my parents that one, or it was with my sister's fiance at the time and my parents and me, and I'm like, oh fuck, I should have picked Coyote Ugly. And I remember watching Coyote Ugly after by myself, being like, God damn it, I picked the wrong one.
It's got like a music ballad at the end.
It was like it was such a romantic film drama, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah, no, Coyote Ugly definitely had heart.
I went and saw Bring It On at Cinema City 8 with my friends.
Oh, yeah.
And then I took my mom to it, and halfway through, my mom's like, you shouldn't have watched this movie. And I'm like, Mom, shh.
It's funny. No.
Eyes on the screen.
Yeah.
And it ended, and my mom was like, I don't like what happened here.
Listener, if you want to go read the review, it's on our Instagram. Just click on the links in the bio that all the kids used to say. I don't even know what the fuck they say
Linktree.
anymore. Linktree, yeah.
Linktree is
yeah,
the thing.
yeah. But like the actual, like there's like 4 or 5 links that are in our bio that's like listen, subscribe, but yours is there to read. So yeah, show them some love, listener. Charles, any nerdies? Any nerdgasms?
So I basically, nerdies have their categories and their noms. I'm just making a nice little sweet post, to release them. And and then nerdies is the next thing coming out. Excited for it. Doing something new. It might be more a podcasty kind of style of it rather than a video. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of discussion. So as always,
well, I want to say that every award that we did for our year in review was inspired by your like somewhat comedic, somewhat ridiculous like awards that you give away. Like you
awards we care about.
Awards we care about. awards
Awards
that
we really care about.
Yeah. Awards that people who use Letterboxd care about.
Right?
And not maybe just the 3 of us in this room I'm speaking to, but like, yeah. And so I was like, okay, let's do some other awards instead of like the ones that we know we'll get that we don't have to do anything about. Let's do the ones that get forgotten. So
it's fun.
Our year in review is you get full credit for that
honored
segment.
Yeah, hey, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and that's why I still do it. It's fun, and I also like some of it really pisses people off, and that's always fun.
That's
too.
great. That's the best
Yeah.
engagement. as
Here's
we
a
call
little
it.
sneak peek. I'll say,
dude.
Yeah.
one of my favorite picks this year is I have Alphaba from Wicked nominated for Best Hero.
Oh, dude, I
And
shot.
some people are like, "Bah."
Yeah, I shot. I
Watch
shot.
it.
I shot
Watch
on
it.
Wicked yesterday.
You did, eh?
Oh yeah, I shot all
Like
over. it.
Yeah.
the film.
Oh, I get
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
I think if I didn't see
Oh,
it
yeah.
in theaters, I wouldn't have been as swept up. To be honest with
Turned
you,
it off after.
I got swept into it.
turned
Yeah,
it off
same.
after
I did.
15 minutes.
You did?
Didn't-
What?
Come
couldn't-
on.
I'm not kidding, guys.
Really? Eh?
Yeah, we'll talk about this.
I guess you don't
Yeah.
think it's popular.
Hey, listen, it's not for me.
didn't
That's what I
even
said.
get there.
I am not.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
not the quadrant. But
You don't like women, eh?
yeah, I'm fucking such a.
I don't like
sexist.
women. I don't like magical women.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck, I'm such a fucking.
Wow.
So stupid.
Professor
call-
McGonagall's
just-
rolling in her
Yeah.
grave.
Just call me Justin Baldoni.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh my god.
so, anyways, so
you know
all right,
that
cool.
he's somewhere being like, yeah.
Yeah. It's another
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Oh, I got my wings. It's just flying.
Just flies out the window.
That's great. He got his wings. Last but not least, you heard us say it before. We'll say it again. March 1st is Seinfeld Trivia Part 2
Right.
at Little Brown Jug, 7:30 p.m., 7 p.m. register. 7:30 we start playing. It's 4 rounds of yada 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 and junior
I
mints
see what you're doing there.
and sponges and AIDS ribbons.
What's the soup special? Are we offering that?
Jambalaya. I'm building a Festivus tree. Like, you're
Oh,
gonna-
nice.
That's where
awesome.
you air your grievances.
Get
about-
over here and fight your father.
That's where you yell at Emily for not seeing the show, right? Like, there's
She
gonna
didn't
be
get into Seinfeld?
No.
Oh man, why?
Emily's the Beat the Debater night.
That's right.
I'm also like not heavily Seinfeld, but I know the classics. I've like
Yeah.
like I've watched my share
If you
of it.
know the
Yeah.
big moments,
Yeah.
you'll at least get some right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I told him I'm more a Curb than a Seinfeld guy, but I know enough Seinfeld that I'm like I'm not going to be like, huh?
We all have our blind
Yeah.
spots.
Yes.
Some of us are
Yes.
Simpsons.
And yeah,
I'm a close talker.
what are you fucking shots fired? I thought we left that in 2023.
No.
So yeah, March 1st, tickets will go on sale when we tell you they'll go on sale. So subscribe to the show so that you don't miss that.
They go on sale when we tell you.
Yeah, well, no, when Little Brown Jug puts them on sale, basically.
Right.
And we're fine with that. They can take that and run with that. We're so okay with just showing up and being idiots. But it will be a Beat It Debater night. If you weren't at the January 27th one, that one sold out. Then you can come to this one and do it all over again. We're gonna fix some of the questions so it's not the same thing, right?
That's right.
Like we'll mix it up, right?
Yeah.
We'll have
Yeah.
2 versions of it. $10 a ticket. You're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be themed. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be. If you are a Seinfeld fan, if you like Larry David, you need to come to this.
It's a good time.
Basically, what we're saying. So, and I mean, if you don't, I don't know. Yada yada yada. I don't know what else to say. So that's it. That's all the stuff that we just wanted to quickly tell you about that's going on, adjacent and in part and proxy to the Real Debaters podcast. With that being said, let's step off this mortal coil. Ian, what did you watch?
I watched too much because I always watch.
You get
things.
one. We're on a time
I
limit
know,
today.
I
sir.
know. So the one I'm going to talk about is a real pain because I feel like it's
Shit, I
it's
need to
recent,
pivot.
it's new. Okay, never mind.
No,
I'll
do it.
talk
Do it.
about
I
Sing,
can. You know what?
Sing Sing.
For time.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. I like that.
Did you watch it? I'm
I
assuming.
did. I watched
okay.
it. Yeah.
What did you think?
Okay. Talking Head movie.
Yep.
This is just Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg,
written and
Kieran
directed.
Culkin, Jesse Eisenberg wrote and
I
directed.
really want to see it. It looks
Shout
good.
out to
It looks
Winnipeg,
good.
right?
Yes, shout out to Winnipeg.
He's a real guy, hey?
Yeah. Oh, is he?
He's real.
Interesting.
Aloge. So
There's a character.
there's a character that's inspired by someone who comes to Winnipeg. I don't want to ruin
Oh,
it for
hilarious.
you.
yeah,
Yeah, you need to watch it.
It's a very like
Winnipeg's hot right now. A lot of
So
people are
hot.
just
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
in Manitoba.
yeah.
and
People want to
So hot,
us.
Hansel.
Yeah.
People want to have sex with us.
Yeah. Okay.
We're the hottest
I
thing.
thought
Sorry,
Kieran,
Winnipeg or
who's on first? No, I thought Kieran Culkin's performance was awesome,
yeah.
but it didn't.
Fuller.
You know what it was? It felt like Sideways without the comedy.
I would agree. It is very much a sideways
Damn.
road
Yeah.
trip to me. Actually,
'Cause Sideways is one of my faves.
Oh,
I
I'm not
love
fucking drinking
Sideways.
Merlot.
I Sideways is never my movie. This one felt more my movie, but maybe it's the cultural connection of someone feeling lost and trying to connect with their culture.
Yeah.
As,
Right.
You know,
And generational trauma is a big theme in it
yes,
too.
very,
right?
very much.
It's a big theme right now in a lot of stuff.
It's
I
so
know.
hot.
Yeah,
I get it. I
Also,
get it.
Like kind
I
of similar
totally
to
get it.
Winnipeg. It's a very hot
Yeah.
topic.
It's a very
Yeah.
hot.
If they're
topic
filming
right now.
here or backdropping here or some
Yeah.
shit, like
Yeah.
I think it was just they're both very good in it. I think Kieran Culkin is kind of doing Kieran Culkin. I think he's like an Adam Brody. He's a one-note character, but he's playing it so fucking well.
he's turning up that one note.
He is turning it up. He's having fun with it. It's very good. Their dynamics. So Jesse Eisenberg is doing his thing,
Yeah.
but turned up more to like I think they're both really good actors and
Dude,
putting them
his-
together.
His Lex.
Yeah, and like it was very relatable. By the way,
His
that is my
Lex.
favorite letterbox review that I wrote. Was I said my two favorite comic book heroes, Lex Luthor and Scott Pilgrim's
That's
gay brother or gay roommate goes on a road
Yeah.
trip together.
That was really.
and I was
that
like,
was great.
and I felt really good about that one. And I was like, this one should blow up. I should get Blue Sky.
It's dude. It's Letterbox is an untapped market. I feel
I
like
know,
right now.
I
feel
know.
like right now,
Guys, if anybody out there works for Letterbox, we will work for just put your 3 dots on the show, and we're more than happy to work.
one of
for
my
BS at this point.
favorite
Like,
social media
it
campaigns
is
right now
unbelievable.
is there 4 movies on the red carpet, and you
Oh,
see
it's-
people
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like, and I love it. And then
Yep.
you always get that one that's like, hey, here's 6, 7. They
Yeah,
just
yeah,
keep
yeah, they
yeah,
keep
going.
going.
Denny did that.
It's hard,
Fucking-
man.
It's hard.
It's hard.
How do you stay only 4?
I think I have I have like 10 in a genre. Never mind.
Oh, I'm-
4 overall.
Dude, I got the Pro now. I moved up.
Oh, so it's
So
like
you get
unlimited.
you get a stat
Oh.
card at the end of the year.
Oh shit!
Cool.
It's like a
Wow.
Spotify recap.
Oh,
for-
that's why
I'll
you
show
get
you.
it.
Yeah. So
I got one. Like I got an okay one, but
It
you're
tells
right. The
me-
pro goes to everything.
oh, dude, and then you can custom poster too.
Oh.
We're doing an ad right now. That's what this is called. By the way.
Yeah, yeah. Also, you know, I've been having
Hook it up.
cybersecurity problem. I got
Yeah.
NordVPN.
Guys, I have to say, I like some MeUndies.
yeah.
You know, they hold everything in place.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying. Here's how it went down in this house. So I came away from it being like, okay, this isn't like wham bam, thank you, ma'am, big 3 acts, simple and easy and done, right? Like it does close on like choose your own adventure, figure out what you think where he went at the end, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, but like, if you take off those blockbuster glasses and put on like indie glasses and look at it from like a first time, I think he hasn't directed anything else, has he?
No, this is his first.
So like he
And he wrote it
You know,
too.
you know,
Jesse
you know
wrote
who
it.
he
Yeah.
got in it too? He got Jennifer Grey in it.
Yeah, Jennifer Grey.
Yeah,
is in
baby,
it.
out.
baby,
wow.
Yeah,
and nobody put her in a corner.
and she looks great.
She looks awesome.
Yeah, she's.
I love Jennifer
yeah.
Grey, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Who
her.
doesn't love Jennifer?
Oh, yeah.
Grey?
She's awesome.
Shout out to the guy who played the tour guide.
Oh yeah, very funny. I've seen
Very
he was on the
funny.
they did a red
He
carpet
was the
thing.
comedy,
He was
actually.
yeah, very like honestly, but I think I think also I related a lot to it because I just came back from a trip where I was on a tour.
Sure.
And it was like very similar, like even, you know, traveling with a friend. And I was the Kieran Culkin. I was the outgoing one making stupid jokes, just having fun and not taking things
You just
too
don't know how
seriously.
charming you are and how much I love you and how much I want to be you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's so, and like I think that I just related to it a lot. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie, but I really did enjoy it. It was, you know, I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did.
Awesome.
I was like,
I'm
okay.
excited. It looks great.
I think you'll like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Watch it.
looks
Like
great.
it for
I
his,
like movies like that. You
for
know.
his performance.
Yeah.
I get why the Globe. I get
Yeah.
it. Like,
There's gonna my prediction is Jesse Eisenberg will win Best Original Screenplay.
that's a good
Ooh.
call.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
think
call.
that will be because that
Also-
usually goes to like a situation like a Greta Gerwig, like those situations. Like
100%.
that, you know?
Yeah,
It's the one that
yeah.
it's very deserving. Like
Yeah, yeah.
whenever that one wins, you're like,
It's
yeah.
a first-time
Yeah.
filmmaker, first-time director,
Yeah.
first film, like a Greta, Jordan Peele. Like it feels
Yeah.
like this is Jesse's.
Totally.
I couldn't
Totally.
agree more with that. Yeah, that's gonna make me check that.
Also,
box.
these Culkins are on fire.
Yeah,
They're
are.
like
Culkin
right?
brothers versus the.
we're gonna do that debate.
Okay, never mind.
We're gonna do
Forget it.
industry siblings versus industry siblings in
The
a
Baldwins versus the Culkins. Or
yeah,
what?
in like a
No.
no hold barred, like straight up back alley brawl.
Well, the Wayans. There's a lot of Wayans.
No, it's the
'cause there's
brother.
brothers
The
and
biggest
sisters.
one on TikTok has been the brothers from the Skarsgård.
Oh, this
Dude,
yes,
the Wahlbergs.
Yeah.
You're all fucked.
Well,
Oh,
yeah, that's-
Wahlburgers. They have Wahlburgers.
But someone told
If-
Kieran
if-
Culkin about the other one. He's like, "Did you see with the internet lately? Like, the people have been saying like the Culkin brothers versus the Skarsgård brothers." And Kieran Culkin goes, "They're beautiful Goliaths. They destroy us. We're all small people. Like we get destroyed."
He's so right though.
you know
Like
what?
he's right.
I know. I look at the characters they play.
Yeah.
They all play these tall giant
vampires.
Like,
Yeah.
To your point, Ian, when they on their press tour, one that I could stand, one that didn't affect me so much like a certain musical did.
Oh,
Anyways, yeah, just jerking off fingernails. It was so weird.
hey man, you know.
You don't have, I'm not attacking it. I'm just saying it was weird. Anyways, their press tour together, he would just show up on set and there wasn't really a lot of talking. So when you say he's Culkining it, like when he's just like being Kieran,
Yeah.
I feel that he's like, how would I be instead of who is this character?
Totally, and I think it's I think it, like I said, I related so much. Like, even to Kieran Culkin's character, even the way he acts, like not as a person that acts often, but like as I've gotten over the years, I've learned how I should just be myself acting, and that's like the best version of my acting.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, right, like
And he's being what
it's
you
that-
know of his
yeah.
persona,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
awkward, jittery.
I also feel like to have a script like that is really nice because it is in that diet. Like if you
Totally.
don't have a good character, if you're not captivating, the movie's gonna fall apart.
It's
right?
it's
Like,
really good. Like I really
gave it
enjoyed
4 out of 5.
I gave it 4 out of 5 too.
I have
Jesse's great, man. He's been in the industry so long.
But I
and-
can understand why someone I live with was like, I fucking hate that. Because
Yeah, that's fair.
Shauna, and I get it, and I respect it, and when it happens most of the time, it pisses me off too. I want closure. I want an
Right.
ending. But when the whole
it's one of those.
But when the whole movie is like the ending, I go, I get it, right?
But
Because
Sideways
because
had
then
one
that
of those too.
Yeah.
Sideways, he went off into the wild
He goes to her house.
grape yonder.
I think it's like he knocks on the
But
door,
you know,
or he's about
but
to.
you know Miles
Yeah.
is gonna.
Yeah, I don't
she
know.
opens the door and lets him in.
Eh.
You know that they're going.
But he
off
could have ruined
together.
it the next day.
It's Pinot
Yeah.
and the hills of whatever's not burnt.
I would take A Real Pain over Sideways, I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, Charles, what'd you watch?
I'll make this quick. Nosferatu really liked. Really liked.
Yeah.
Very impressed by
So
it.
did Jimmy. Jimmy fell in love with
I
it.
really liked it. And I mean, you know, it's also ambitious to say I'm going to take a silent film that's 100 years old and do a remake of it and set it in that time, but like make it exciting. Like again, I think it's ambitious. It's like again, and I thought it was great. I really like him as a director. I think he's awesome. Gladiator 2, Ridley Scott retire.
No, let's not forget the Last Duel.
I haven't seen that yet. I've heard.
Is
I've
that
heard
on your
crazy
list
things.
of?
I haven't
you
seen
like
that,
that
yet.
one?
I like that one.
I haven't seen that
I'm
one.
not saying I don't like it. I just know
That's
it's
Ben
very-
Affleck?
It's controversial. As-
Why?
Jodie Comer, Ben Affleck. Oh
And
yeah,
Matt
you got.
Damon.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah. Well,
you told
okay.
me about that.
I shouldn't say
It's Rashomon.
It's exactly Rashomon, but it's
Oh,
it.
It's great. I think it's really strong.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say controversial. It's a heavy subject matter. That's
It is a heavy subject
That's what I
matter.
should say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways,
it's not a bad movie.
But I
It's-
do agree. Like, listen, I watched
Napoleon.
Napoleon. I've watched all. Like, I think,
Oh, Napoleon was.
fucking what's the Adam Driver one?
Megalopolis.
No, sorry. He did the guy, the Italian guy.
Versace.
Versace.
I
or
watched that too.
Gucci, Death of Gucci, or
House of
whatever.
Gucci.
That was Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, House of Gucci.
Oh
Ridley
my
Scott.
God!
Yeah.
What
Dude,
the
so
hell
is
is he
so
doing?
is The Martian.
Okay, Martian was
So is
great.
All the Money in the
I
World.
This is the thing about Scott. He obviously makes good movies, but lately it's like one good one in 6.
He's is
Like, what is he-
82.
I know, but that's what I'm
Or
saying.
something, I think.
Like, dude, don't be an Eastwood. Have you guys seen Eastwood?
Yeah, no. Ridley's in mid
They have to,
70s.
like-
Eastwood's 90. Eastwood's 90.
They're
and gonna
rolling
die.
him to the camera, and he's
Right.
like,
Why Gladiator 2 not for you? I'm
so
interested.
Gladiator 2. Okay, this is what I will say. I think Gladiator 1, I like the story. The action was great, but Gladiator 2 elevated on another level. It was very entertaining. Like, again,
So you
I
were
think the
entertained.
tagline of the new one was "You'll be entertained," and I was like, "Ha." Definitely was entertained.
Big action.
Like, but the story was so bad.
It was
It was so bad.
It was-
And what was really bad about it is they really tried. Like an hour in, this is a 2.5 hour movie. An hour in, they're like, this is the sequel to the first one, and this is why. This is a sequel to the first one, this is why. And then like 20 minutes go by. Hey, did we mention this is the sequel to the first one? This is why. Like out of nowhere, it's
There's
just
a lot-
Maximus.
there's a lot of
Maximus.
dialogue.
And you're like, he's not even his real dad.
And he's, you know what he is? He's
I know everything
Come
about
on,
it. So
come
like, yeah.
on. Like and the twist with Denzel.
Well, no, didn't they play that he was his?
He had a bond with him, but the kid was born already.
But
the kid was like,
don't they
he's
literally
like 6.
confirm in dialogue that she says that's the one that she slept with, that she
so
was like
they allude to that they had an affair.
Yeah.
But I can't believe he did because he was so obsessed with his wife.
Exactly.
And kid that I don't think he would have banged another. Like he was just too
throes
broken.
of
He was dead.
war.
He was dead inside. He was just ready to like.
cold winter nights.
Also, I just again, that's Ridley Scott being like, eh.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I was entertained, but like I wasn't.
Denzel was phenomenal, though. I get all the hype with Denzel. It's great seeing him be a villain. He should just be a villain. in a
how's
lot more
Pedro?
things.
That was Training Day.
Pedro was great. I liked Pedro. He was great. But again, Pedro's character was like very conflicted, and you don't see enough of him to care.
And he's also like he's a sacrificial character.
That's what I mean.
And I'm like, I like that.
but you don't see enough
I like
of it
that he
to
was
feel the sacrifice.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
When he dies, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I was like, no.
Well,
but they were trying to milk it like that. That's what I mean. Is like.
it just felt like
There were sharks in
it
the
felt like when James
Colosseum.
Cameron did the aliens with the dollar sign.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
this feels like.
Yeah. Like, and again, there are things about it where I'm like the opening of it was phenomenal. They open up with an amazing battle,
As they should.
So good.
right?
I think the first
it's
one's
great.
like that too.
But isn't the
I think
story?
so. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Isn't the story now Maximus is what's his
So
name?
she sent her son away.
No. What I'm saying is isn't it the same story just with
It
the
is.
son?
It is. It's,
So
but it's trying
like,
to be like his.
It's trying to be an
son.
origin story that we already saw.
Well,
with
and
another
that's-
character that just so happens to be his
And that's the
bastard
studio
father.
again being like Gladiator 2, like it's
Yeah.
connected,
There's-
and it's like
there's too much flashback.
Yeah, and again,
There's too much reliance
his
on it.
underworld moments are the same as Russell Crowe's. It's all black and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whitish.
Oh,
and-
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
weird.
they copy the same realm when he's like
They even do
he
the
sees
same
his
music.
wife. Yeah, it's
It
the
is-
same.
it
It's
is-
the same track
yeah.
from the first one.
It is
Yeah.
funny how like my decline for that movie. Like I was like, this will be good, and then I was like, I don't know, and then like I was like, the reviews started coming out. I was like, oh man, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I lost interest even trying.
When the
to go see it.
reviews were praising Denzel more than anything, nothing against it. He's amazing, but I was like, he's definitely not the main character, and the movie's about a gladiator.
He's the one driving.
So I was
he's
like,
driving the
uh-oh.
plot. You know what he is? He's like
He's the story. He's the most interesting part of the story.
yeah, because he wants to get to the top.
yeah,
But he doesn't start off that way. He just starts off as a guy who's like, I love running the
Yeah,
gladiator
he's-
games. They're fun.
He's like Drake.
And then
he
you
was at the
find
bottom,
out-
and now he's at the top.
And then, you have a scene where he's like, they Game of Thrones his character.
Oh,
right.
He's very Game of Thrones. And then they deliver. But again,
And then you have
it's-
these two bastard children.
who they blew me when I realized it was
They-
the kid from Stranger Things,
Yeah,
Human Torch,
Eddie, whatever. Yeah, and Human
and the
Torch.
kid from White Lotus. I was like,
Yeah,
wait, what?
not White Lotus.
yeah.
Stranger Things.
No, one of them Stranger Things. The other kid's from White Lotus. The one that tried killing Jennifer Coolidge's assistant. The one that they allude, where he's like, "Let's go spend the day together,"
to go
and he
back and-
like took her cell phone away.
Yeah. I know
And
what
then
you're talking about.
she gets away from
Oh,
him.
that's
He's all covered in
right.
tat. That's the kid.
That's so
when I
funny.
realized it was
when you
him,
say
I was
kid,
like-
I think you mean like grown ass adult.
Well, in White Lotus, he seemed like an adult, but in fucking Gladiator 2, he seemed like a 15-year-old.
I'm very
like,
excited.
Yeah,
Now-
yeah, no,
honestly,
no, no.
now you've given me something to like look.
It's
through.
an
Okay,
It's an
Gladiator
epic
2's worth a watch. It's
Yeah,
totally worth a
watch it.
watch.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
high
just
on
not
my
a hype
list.
movie.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
not a
not going
hype.
to see the theaters. I'm
Would
going
you
to
Yeah.
wait.
Would you
Yeah.
give it 3?
I think I gave it a 3. Yeah, like again, I was entertained. It did its job. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Yeah, I'm going to give it without seeing it 2.5.
Yeah, see, and I think that's a fair.
I
Again,
haven't seen it.
Denzel was phenomenal. Like he was the reason I kept wanting to watch. If it was just going to be about that kid,
Oh, yeah.
like the main
He-
gladiator. Oh my god, his story was
Well, he's just
so boring.
He's so bratty, and he's rejecting it all. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
He's also Russell Crowe's. Like he's totally doing Russell
He's
Crowe.
more like Moses in the Ten Commandments than
Yeah.
he's actually a gladiator.
But
right?
he even has like Russell Crowe says something in the first one like, "I'm not a leader. I'm not a blah blah blah." And
And
this
he
one he has
carbon
his final
copies.
thing. I'm not a leader. I'm not a general, but I lead with hope or something. And all the men are like, "Ooh." And I'm like, let's go.
Maximus,
I've seen this in
Maximus.
300.
Yeah,
I've seen this in Gladiator. Let's go.
Well, the issue too.
Like-
One of the reasons I rewatched Gladiator 1, and I was like, hey, you know what I'll say? Like, I think it's a really fun, entertaining movie. But I was
Yeah.
like, but then when the reviews started coming out, being like, this is kind of a retread, I was like, oh wait.
That's a good definition.
It is, though,
retread, for
because
sure.
literally Ridley was there and he's like, what did we not do? In the first one, we did tigers. Let's do rhinos.
Or what can
and then he's like, we
Yeah.
didn't do water.
What can I
Let's
do
do
with-
sharks. And you're like, dude.
Narwhals.
unicorns,
Like, literally, it just got to a point, like,
14
again,
hump camels.
even the way they sort the competitors. Well, I hate to use this word, but the slaves, the gladiators.
The gladiators. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
They
hate
fight
that you used the
baboon.
word.
Yeah, I'm so
Hey,
sorry.
Charles. They are of multiple races.
Yeah,
It's
they're
okay.
also called unpaid workers.
They
Yeah,
fight the
yeah.
most
Free labor.
CGI, awful CGI baboons. Like, they did not get the Planet of the Apes team.
You mean the Wicked
They
team?
got the Wicked team. Even worse.
Flying
They're
monkeys?
even worse than the flying monkeys. Because
No.
my
Dude,
mom
these
was like,
baboons are
"Are
like-
those dogs?"
They're
And I was
almost
like, "No, mom. They're supposed to be baboons."
They're almost like primordial. They're not even like.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dinosaur version
Yeah.
of them. That's how I explain them.
You know
Like,
what they
this
are?
is like the prehistoric version of them.
They're like the dinosaur version in King Kong and Peter
Yeah,
Jackson's
yeah,
yeah.
King Kong.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
these baboons.
Which again is Ridley Scott. I don't know who was the head design, but it was someone who just was like, yeah, and then
Good enough.
make him like this. Yeah, like they were just because me and my dad were like
they had
baboons,
slicked back hair
guess.
almost.
Yeah, yeah.
And like
You're-
in human, but
You're,
like
you're grabbing your 3D glasses and you're like, oh, this isn't a 3D.
Well, they went from
Oh, it was-
200 AD to like 10,000 BC.
right, right.
With those baboons, like in my opinion, like
in that week
and they
of
were
gladiator
so,
fights, it was just this crazy chain of biology.
and because they're
Went from
weird,
amoeba to baboon.
You know what they kind of look like? They kind of look like
The
the
shark.
werewolves in Underworld when they're like
Yeah.
kind of CGI
Oh, yeah.
more. Because it was weird, and they were so weird looking that there was no part where they could have used real apes because they were so bizarre.
Oh, yeah.
So it's CGI the whole time, and you're kind of just like.
It's not like the tiger in the first one where it's like a real
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
tiger.
real
and
fucking tiger,
and then only
yeah.
CGI when they have to. No, this thing is from the get go. Like they're in this waiting room, and right away I'm like, what am I looking at? And then I realized my dad's like, I think those are supposed to be baboons, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, it was.
And then I don't know. It's just one of those things where
Shauna liked it. I liked it, but I was also like, meh. Like,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
you-
I'll never watch this again.
do you know what I said? I said not an original idea, and that's what I would have loved to
Like-
have seen this money get spent on.
Right.
If something.
Yeah.
Or like 4 small movies that are real cool original
Or-
ideas.
You know
Yeah.
what? At this point, like especially the way the movie started, it was almost like just do a Caesar movie because Pedro Pascal is basically Julius Caesar.
Oh, I got the same hype.
you know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, why don't we just and no one's
betrayed by everybody, killed in the
and no
public
one's
square
doing
kinda
it. Like no
shit.
one's
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
done a
yeah.
Caesar movie
Yeah.
since like the 60s
or the
maybe?
salad.
So I'm just like, I don't know.
Or the salad. You guys know where it came from? The original birthplace of the Caesar salad? Tijuana, Mexico.
Whoa.
True
It's
story.
Caesar.
Yeah.
It's Caesar
Sorry,
salad.
Caesar salad, eh?
Caesar.
That's a crazy Caesar salad, eh? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to all our fans in Tijuana. That was outrageous.
Hey, we took money there. We took Canadian money there to get. Anyway, that's a different
but yeah,
story.
anyways,
We took
Gladiator
Canadian money
2,
for
Okay,
drugs to
pick-
come back.
In short,
picture-
Gladiator 2 worth a watch, but if you don't watch it, you're not.
You
missing
might be
anything.
better for it.
Yeah,
Picture Gladiator 2 fast is just like what's the original version of this movie? What would it be?
I don't know.
I know that's the
mean,
thing. Like, what do you do with the title? Like, Gladiator is just like because Gladiator is Spartacus. Like
That's-
we basically watched.
and they have-
you know,
Gladiator's Ben Hur.
and they
yes,
have,
yeah, exactly. So what is the original version?
they have
of
a
this movie?
Spartacus moment in this. Remember, he's like, "Who
Oh, yeah,
shot
yeah,
the
yeah,
arrow?
yeah.
I
I
did
did.
it. I did it.
No,
I
actually?
did it. I
This
is
yeah.
bullshit, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was one of those.
I'm gonna
even
be
my,
so mad.
Even my dad went, "This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Spartacus," and I'm like, "Dad, this is just focus on the
And then,
action."
did someone else
The
stand in the
story.
room and go, "This is Spartacus"?
Now this is Spartacus.
God damn it!
Oh
Is
my
it still in
God.
thears? Can we go back and do that?
That's
Just stand up in the middle of the movie like, I'm
Yeah,
Spartacus.
And there's only 3 of us in there.
I have one wicked thing to say just because you made that
If you're
comment.
going to talk about Wicked,
Somebody posted a funny clip online because they're doing sing-along versions. So I guess
Oh.
people are also taking that
I'd
as
have
invites
murdered a person
to
if they
talk
did that.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
So there's a scene where I hate to use this, but you can edit it out.
That's fine.
Ariana Grande's ginger fuckboy, whatever. Now,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
she's
yeah.
cheating on, like whatever.
SpongeBob fuckboy.
Yeah,
Grande.
he's actually the Munchkin kid in it. Hilarious, amazing casting.
She's
But,
dating this guy.
yeah, they both left their
Significant
married
others.
spouses for
Did they
each other.
both? I don't think she
Yeah.
was.
That's
Who was she
hot.
hooked up with?
She was married to a guy, and he was married to his wife. Who
After
was,
Pete Davidson?
yeah, she's been married to this guy. She was married with this guy for about 2 years when she left him for Lollipop Kid, and he
the
left.
guild?
And his wife had I think their kid was 10
Yeah,
months
yeah, yeah.
old, and he was
he
like,
left a brand new mother.
Anyways,
10-month-old.
in the movie, he says something like, "I would do anything to be with you," and a guy
Oh,
yells,
that
like,
character.
"Leave your wife."
I saw that.
And all you hear is half the theater laughing and the other going, "Whoa, whoa!" And it's like, no, don't feel bad for either of them. Feel bad for their partners. Their partners are fucked.
These are the things that mired my
just thought that was funny.
experience of watching it, because as soon as she came on screen, I was like,
Yeah,
homewrecker.
I'll admit-
I couldn't get.
see, I didn't even know about
guys.
this.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
ridiculous.
I think she's brilliant on SNL. Okay, and I love Cynthia. I've watched stuff with Harriet Tubman.
She was
I said this
funny
on the
in
other
Wicked.
episode.
I was
I
shocked
don't know
with
why
her in Wicked.
I feel I need to
think
defend
she's-
this all over
I
again.
was shocked with her in Wicked.
I think she's
was.
very funny in Wicked, and
She
she
was
was my
really
favorite
funny.
part of Wicked.
She was really funny.
It's not. I love musicals. Like, give me Les Mis.
Yeah.
Give me Phantom.
I think this one was. I'm a huge. I
give me La
realized-
La Land.
Yeah.
Right. Like I love a
You
musical.
got to be Wizard
that-
of Oz. If you don't care
Yeah.
for the Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz,
yeah.
then you're like, I don't care.
Okay, I'm going to say this as politely as I can. Wicked people are like horse people.
Yeah, that's a pretty
They're
good parallel.
Like for
love it.
animal hobbyists.
Yeah.
They're in the upper echelon
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
thing. So for a musical
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
Wicked is a whole other level. I understand. I get it, right?
The Wicked crew. This is
and
the
I'm
one thing.
just I'm a laissez-faire musical person. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
hard in the paint.
And I'm a
I told-
Newsies.
I'm
Perfect.
I'm a
right?
producers. I love the producers.
Yeah, that's good.
Mel
That's
Brooks,
a-
Mel
that's a
fucking
good-
Brooks,
yeah.
right?
My
Like,
fa- that's my ultimate.
there's so many
favorite
things you can do with a musical you can't do with
And
a
Book of
movie.
Mormon. Book of Mormon is incredible.
Yeah.
Fucking
But, like,
Evil Dead.
What I told Claudia is, I'm like, the annoying thing about the Wicked thing is, like, they're making it seem like hey, like Wizard of Oz was the OG, like that's a legendary movie.
I'm Judy.
in
I'm sorry.
cinema
I'm
history
Judy.
for
Yeah.
the
Judy
color,
red slippers.
right?
Yeah.
I'm silver.
But just for
I'm
cinema
silver
history,
paint on the
it's-
wrong person.
Yep.
I'm a
It's
I'm a dead
pivotal
little
to-
person hanging in the background.
Right, hanging,
like,
hanging
But these
munchkin.
people are making it seem like
right, like-
these people are making it seem like you don't know, like there's a bad witch, and it's like no motherfucker, you don't fucking know.
I just didn't realize
You
the,
don't fucking know.
the plot of Wicked was going to be Hogwarts. Like I didn't know
Yeah.
that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is what it is. Anyways, I enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
Gladiator 2,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And I'm
Sorry,
no, dude, that's totally fine.
I just thought that was funny because I left because I thought the same thing. Like I did say to Claudia, I'm like, it's hard to really care for these people when I know that in real life they're assholes. Yeah, and his whole storyline in Wicked is he just is obsessed with Glenda. So you're kind of like, yeah, I guess you're method acting a little bit. I guess
I will tell
don't know.
you, and listener, one thing to watch. It's very interesting. I knew a little bit about this man, but I didn't know enough that it now changes my whole perspective.
I didn't know people would pay money to see SpongeBob the musical on Broadway. That's a fucking. That's magical to me. Holy shit.
Do you want to know what's an interesting watch on Netflix? Prime Evil.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah,
What
yeah,
is that? I don't even know.
It's the new
Betty Gilpin.
Betty Gilpin, Taylor Kitsch, Shea Wingham. It
Mike, what did you watch?
That's why I'm doing it
He's
quick.
doing it now.
I'm just saying.
Beast Games.
I just realized I didn't ask.
haven't seen all of it yet. I'm slow rolling.
Oh, it's a
it.
show.
It's a show.
Is it like a mini series though?
6 episodes and we're done.
Sick.
It's
Okay.
1857. You've got the Mormons,
Whoa.
you've got the indigenous, and you've got white men all competing for
Merging?
land in America.
Interesting. So it is Beast Games.
It is Beast Games. OG, right? Like straight
It's
up.
the original.
Peter, if you guys watch anything by Peter Berg,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Peter
yeah,
Berg
yeah.
directed.
Oh,
I
cool.
love Taylor Kitsch. You said Taylor. I love him.
Taylor Kitsch plays like a wild, half white, half indigenous guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he's like trying to get Betty Gilpin and her son across the West,
whoa!
and because there's a
And I
warrant
love
out for
Betty.
her arrest.
I love.
So
Betty,
you
too.
and
Oh, very
what you-
U10, 310 to Yuma.
very 310 to Yuma,
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
very violent,
Yeah. Nice.
very gruesome,
Yeah,
But, like,
very-
well-made,
but
like,
well
well-
made.
yeah,
Is there-
Right?
is
Like,
there-
what was that?
Is there sex?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
the kind you want, the
There's
kind you
some
don't want.
moving.
Yeah.
And there's
Don't say that.
What?
I think I can confidently say. Hey, it's up to you what you find you like.
I guess.
I'm leaving that open.
It's Game of Thrones style.
Yeah, actually, yeah, totally.
So take out that. Take it how you
Take
will.
that, put it in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cersei
yeah.
Lannister that. You'll
That's
be fine.
actually a good way to describe that kind of sexual content in a show or movie.
In
is be
all
like,
of the things.
Game of Thrones.
In all of the things I've watched when it comes to scalping, and I don't have a letterbox list of scalp movies.
Is that one your masterpiece?
I got a few.
There are a few, but it's
Yeah.
not like you can make a real like 10 movie list of
Listeners,
scalpings.
do this
Inglorious,
for us.
Inglorious, Inglorious.
Yeah.
Sure. Now you guys think Inglorious was like graphic, right? It's a little graphic.
I thought it was
too bad.
comical.
Yeah,
He takes the cap off, right?
It's comical,
I don't
though.
think it's too bad, but
Because
yeah.
it's Tarantino, so it's kind of comical more
Yeah, yeah.
than
So
anything.
Peter
right?
Berg does this unbelievable like multi one take sequence of like the camp being invaded by the indigenous as I quote, because you don't know. And there's like flaming arrows and shit, and then like the cattle ranchers, the cattle gets out, the cattle's running around and blowing through wagons, and
Oh,
Betty
shit.
Kilbin is being tracked, right? And she goes under one wagon, and then all of a sudden there's a fight right in front of her, and a guy gets like axed right between the face split open. So she gets up and it's like still tracking. Then she's under another wagon.
This sounds
and then,
cool.
And then out of
Love it.
nowhere, one of the big cattles with the big horns runs right through.
Oh,
but it pivots
shit.
under the wagon to it coming from behind them.
Oh,
so you see it running, and then they split, and the fucking horns come right through the screen.
Weird.
Then it cuts to one of the Mormons that's
Wow.
in this group, and it cuts to him being scalped, and it's a wide shot to a close-up, and it pushes right in as he's pulling back on the head, and you see an entire cap come back.
That's so cool.
And it's a slow scream
Oh, yeah.
and blood gushing, and then you see it get sewed up, and then they put, like, it's very Revenant.
Yeah.
Right.
Very Revenant.
Right.
Like Tom
It's
Hardy
the reality.
scalping.
It's just the
It's just
reality
the
of
What?
like
That actually, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Revenant had. What made you watch this?
I became infatuated with that era after Yellowstone.
Oh, fair.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
I had no
Yes.
interest in the making of America, the
See-
east to west story of the pilgrimage, and
So Yellowstone's worth the watch, eh?
the last season not so much, but most of it, yeah.
I have it all because I have Paramount now, so I'm like, okay.
But that
Okay, moneybags.
I have the Paramount.
you get a
now?
streaming site. You get a streaming site.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's all I'll say on it. Watch it. I'm slow rolling it. Hour-long episodes, 6-hour movie.
When you said Taylor Kitsch and Betty Gill, I was like, okay, for them alone, I'll watch it. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what the hell it was, so I was like, I'm in.
Is Taylor
Yeah.
Kitsch like?
The best Gambit?
Oh, that's Taylor Kitsch.
yeah.
Oh.
Taylor Kitsch is like
And I think Friday Night Lights?
Battleship.
Yeah.
Battleship.
But I think Friday Night Lights
Skarsgård
the
and
I
show.
was, but I was thinking of the guy
show?
who's in Terminator Genesis.
That is
That's that other guy.
That's
I
that
get them
Australian guy.
Jason Clark? I think his
No,
name's
not Jason
No,
Clark.
He is the bad
The
guy. in it.
Australian, the guy who's in Avatar. That's who you're thinking.
Oh,
of.
Sam Worthington?
No,
No?
that's Terminator Salvation.
Which Terminator?
Which was
are you
good.
thinking
That was a
of?
good Terminator.
Yeah,
Are you
that's a
thinking
good
Nick
one.
Stahl?
No.
No, that's Terminator 3. No, Genesis is
has
Amelia Clark
Yes.
as Sarah Connor.
Oh, that's right.
or
Who
as
the
Sarah Connor.
Jason
yeah.
Clark is
Sarah
in it
Connor.
though.
Jason Clark is the
is-
bad term. That movie was
Is,
garbage.
He's the bad John.
He's John Connor, but he's
He's the bad John.
Oh, but he's
Connor.
a Terminator John
Bad
Connor
John
from an
Connor.
alternate. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck that
Yeah.
movie was
And so there's the guy.
Multiverse.
that movie, yeah, that's what it was.
Who's is it? Taylor Kitsch? Was that the guy?
No, I
know.
don't think it
that's
was.
a different actor. He's in a bunch of stuff that I don't like.
We're all in front of our
Oh.
phones. Mine's upstairs though. So
I refuse.
Yeah, you're free. I like going off brain too. 'Cause
That
gets
British
points.
actor from House of the Dragon was in Genesis in the beginning.
yeah, that's correct too.
Oh, that's,
But
right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who the
He's also the
fuck was-
bad guy in Morbius.
Who's the main?
Someone at home is screaming at us. right
Milo. You mean
Milo.
Milo?
Yeah.
now. Anyways,
Who the fuck was the guy in Genesis though? That's just gonna kill me.
we'll do this after. And
Arnold.
None of you are going home until we figure this out. I give it like a solid 3.5 out of 5.
And you're not done yet, eh?
No, I'm slow rolling it because I enjoy that
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
Like,
Is it like hour-long episodes?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
it's like
Cool.
a badly edited movie. Badly
6
edited movie's a
hours?
miniseries.
It's Justice
Perfect.
League, the extended cut.
That's perfect.
Just
6 is
kiss.
perfect.
6 is becoming the new 8,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm down. I'm here for it.
And I'm here for one episode. If they have like one episode that's a movie length,
One
can
of
we
my-
call it a movie?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
here for
My
that.
favorite
Can we call
things-
the season finale of Stranger Things 3 movies?
Yeah, right.
Well, they're
Can we just
calling
get
each one a
straight-
movie.
It's 2.
itself,
It's almost
so-
2 hours long for 3 of them. I think.
Fuck that.
Like, what are we doing?
They have a lot to wrap
I mean,
up, man.
Netflix is allowed to do whatever they want, but let's not fuck with the
Dude,
the model
after they
that
gave
much.
Zack Snyder fucking Rebel Moon bullshit, I think
Okay.
Stranger Things could do what they want to do.
Fair.
Fair enough.
That whole
And
thing
we're all
blows my mind.
We're all here for
Where
it.
is Netflix making money with that one?
The ads. Some
ads,
must
dude.
It has to
some
be.
must refuse to pay the full
It
amount.
has to
Yeah.
be because I'm like, what is the decision in this one? And he's not done apparently.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what we need to do? Side note before we do the dump month stuff.
Snyderverse.
I think when we do because we've never done the best streaming site debate. We've come up with our own streaming sites. And
Oh,
why we
but,
want
like,
them.
who's doing best?
Such a change. Like it just rotates so much.
How about
though.
best
It does.
rental store? Blockbuster versus Rogers Video.
That's like Canada versus
Okay,
US.
so first of all,
Who
I'm
did
so
it
here.
best?
I'm so here for best video rental store. I'm also here for. Hang on, bear with me. I'm here for best streaming site.
yeah.
That's a good one.
But
I
then
like
I'm
that one.
also here for best ads per streaming site. So who's got the better ads?
So far, Paramount Plus has blown my mind with their marketing
Okay.
because they're using all their like
right.
characters and stuff.
So we need to pin the best ads and how they're
That's a
advertised
good one.
to you.
Prime is pretty good because they go, here's the trailer before about
Yeah.
the thing you're about to watch.
Yeah.
Because this is brought to you by Zero Interruptions, and I go,
Yeah.
this works. I can handle 15 seconds before I
saw
start my
a
thing.
Prime ad before I saw a movie in the theater, and I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
What
guys,
the
I can take you down a rabbit hole of like Stack TV because I pay for Stack.
Yeah.
And
So-
Stack is the
I've had
same ad
Stack.
4 times.
Yeah, I know.
oh, I don't
It's
like
so
that's
annoying.
global. That's the
Yeah.
global and Gem. That's CBC
That's also
Gem.
YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pounded.
Gem is like that.
Like they just come out and then
So that means
the
that company
volume
bought all
goes
that
up.
airtime. They were like, I'll
We're
pay
doing
for
this.
the
Yeah.
We're doing this, listener. This will be settled. This will be
Yeah.
a 2025 treat.
Tubi,
Best
Tubi's
best
great.
rental
Thanks,
store,
Tubi.
best streaming site,
Best-
best
best
in-app ads.
media, like VHS,
Yeah, yeah.
DVD,
Oh my god, best
Blu-rays,
format.
HD,
Oh.
DVDs,
Best format.
mini
Laser
DVDs.
disc.
But this is where we all have to take one,
Yep.
and then we have to argue as its prophecy, right?
I think Laserdisc is the most unpractical and expensive
Yeah.
format.
You should get like a VHS of The Matrix, a VHS of, or DVD of The Matrix,
Yeah.
and a Blu-ray of The Matrix.
Oh,
You know what's a
watch
good one to
it.
do that
Yeah,
with?
yeah,
Is
do all
Star
three.
Wars and see all the different edits.
Yeah. Actually,
like
that's
see
good.
what really is the most
And we
original.
sync them all
cut.
at the same time.
Listener, if you don't mind, we're just going to change this into a pitch session.
Yeah,
for the rest of the
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. No, these are all great ideas. I can't wait to do them. So, opening the floor to
Floor is
dump
open.
month. My understanding. Let's define this so that we all understand it.
Can you put a toilet flushing sound when you say
Like
it?
right here.
Yeah.
Every time dump is said, it's a toilet.
Yeah, just the flush.
Yeah.
I should just flush this whole conversation.
counter.
Like this is the
Yeah.
dump. Yeah, how many times have we said dump before the end of this fucking episode? And then, like, will we all have to dump together? Will our
guess.
dumps
Group dumps.
sync?
Group dumps.
Who's going to go to the washroom? Who's going to feel enticed to go take a dump after this anyway? Right?
Who's incept dumps?
Fuck movies. Let's talk about our dumps. What kind of dump did you have
Our
today?
dump cycle.
Yeah, our January dumps. Okay, let's get serious about this. So, listener, yes, if you've never heard this term before, dump month is reserved for, I know it as the 30-day window in January. It also leans into February too, doesn't it? Like it's the two.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
would
2
say
months
so.
of the year that just like don't
February
have.
is
Yeah,
usually
it's-
guaranteed a rom-com because of, Valentine's Day, but
And it-
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah.
It's
Or a
usually
horror.
award season time too, so a lot of the
Yep.
films that have they'll some of them will get re-released because Oscar
Substance
noms will
is
come
getting
out.
that right now.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So like it becomes this like catch-up time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird gray area.
It's like,
for
hey,
studios.
we had nothing, but let's make a little bit of money.
Well,
Yeah.
And now it's streaming, it's even weirder. Like
Agreed.
Wolfman's coming out, and that's to me, I think that's a pretty
looks amazing.
Is it-
yeah,
is
and that's a big release for a
Okay,
January.
good question. Is it dump month if it's streaming? But see, I see dump month is reserved for the theaters. I don't.
I
see
agree.
It as,
I agree.
Like
I know.
if you release something, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter anymore because
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like Beast Games came out on this.
Fucking Beast Games.
you really want to talk about Beast Games.
no.
What's his name, Mr. Show?
You want to talk about child
His
labor,
name's Mr. Beast.
That's what it is. Mr. Show's on.
Mr. Shoe?
I never got into this guy. I didn't
Big old Bob
understand why he
Odenkirk,
blew
David
up.
Cross fan, are you?
Well, that one I love. Yeah.
Well,
I
you
never
don't.
understood-
Clearly, you don't like money because he gives it away.
All I heard was there was a bunch of scandals. Like, didn't he assault someone or something?
Where
on
are we
it?
now?
I don't know, Megalopolis. What are you talking
No,
about?
Beast
What?
thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
like a
back
week
to-
before
Okay,
the
we're
show
not
came.
talking
Back to
about.
dump-
We're not
Dump-
talking about Beast
back to
Wars.
Dump
dumping.
Wars.
Yeah,
Back to
dump-
dumping.
Dump
Wars.
There it is.
Dumplings.
How many flushes?
January dumps.
Who's on dump? So that's what dump month is. Dump month is where they release these movies into the theaters that technically don't have a home in any other marketing plan. Might be something that they're like, well, we made it, maybe we should release it here. Whatever it is, it's released in an area where traditionally movies don't do so well. But there are movies out there that are fucking phenomenal
Untapped market.
that did exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like maybe you plan on everything being shitty, and then you put yours out there. So by comparison, it pops way more than if it's in a sea of mediocrity.
Or I think it's also studio heads not knowing the zeitgeist of popularity of like,
Yeah.
oh, this is everyone wants to see this. This is a great trailer.
Everyone knows except the idiot.
Yeah,
executive.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and every studio wants to be that studio that's like, hey, remember that movie I had that came out in January and made Titanic money?
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
every other
totally.
studio's like, what's our January
Well, that's your
movie?
trending
right? Like,
shit, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I hear Sony's doing it, and then Universal's like, let's do
Right.
it, right?
Yeah.
Netflix
Right.
is like, fuck it, 2-hour episodes on Stranger Things, right? Like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Release Craven the Hunter
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? There's always
Release the hunter.
Release the Craven. Oh shit, that thing did go down like the Kraken. So these 10 movies are on a list from CBR. This list is from September 30th, 2023. So it's just it's a list of dump month movies. It's
So
not
they don't have Mean Girls the musical on there yet. is
No,
what
no,
you're
no, no.
saying.
We don't have that.
Okay.
But what we do have is a list of movies that we're going to talk about that essentially what we're going to ask is, should they have come out maybe in August? Should they have come out in November? Right? Like that's our whole point of today's list is, do we agree that it was in January and that was a good place for it? Otherwise, it would have gotten lost maybe somewhere else, or should it have not?
Right.
So first up on the list is, what does it say, Charles?
Oh, that's Deadpool.
That says Deadpool.
Which was a Valentine's Day, if I'm
Yeah,
it was a perfect date movie.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
I think this was a year where like Valentine's Day was on a Sunday, so they
Yes.
capitalized on the Friday before,
And
which is genius.
To say exact release date was February 12th, 2016, and yeah, they did definitely market it as a Valentine's Day,
Totally,
movie, which was very smart.
very smart.
Yeah,
This was a huge flex too, because this was Fox basically saying we can make a high-grossing rated R movie or comic book rated R.
well,
movie.
it was counter programming too, because it was like a lot of romance film. There was another film coming out that was a romance, and this destroyed. I believe it made a shit ton of.
They
money.
even made fun of the marketing for the actual romance one.
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah,
not
they had
mistaken.
a bunch of like God bless Ryan
I
Reynolds
think
for
this.
doing what
I
he
think
did.
this was 600
Yeah.
mil in the 600 mil range, which for its budget,
That's
like
crazy.
that's
yeah.
that's
Again, this
ridiculous.
opened up the floodgates for Logan and what Disney is now doing
Yeah.
with Deadpool. Right?
And also,
So,
I rewatched the first one when before 3.
It's great.
and it's great. But also, you see the limitation, the budget. Which
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, you know the age-old story of
Yeah.
like the reason there wasn't the big gunfight was like the line of him forgetting the guns
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
taxi
yeah,
cab
yeah.
was because they were like, you need to cut 20 million.
That's right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't do. So this is the gunfight that.
And he not
was
make
cut.
He makes the joke either. I think it's in the first one where he's like, "We couldn't afford another X-Men."
Yeah,
This
yeah,
whole
yeah.
mansion, and it's
Yeah.
just the two of you always
Yeah.
answering the door. Or
Yeah,
something
well,
like
it's so
that, right?
weird, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
right? Like
February 12th, 2016, best day of our
that was
Lord.
like 9 years ago almost. That's
Right.
insane.
First of all, to remember
That's
that,
crazy.
like go backwards
Yeah.
9 years. Who were you? We didn't. None of us knew each other.
Yeah.
Right? I wasn't even
That's
with
right.
Shauna at that time. Like,
Yeah.
like
wild.
this was
I didn't speak English.
holy shit.
I was living in Toronto.
I was living in a basement apartment for $427 a month in Osborne Village.
That's a steal. Sir.
It was
Yeah.
no, it was. I
think that's a steal.
think the cockroaches were stealing
Yeah.
that off of
Yeah,
me
they
if we're
stole
talking
your
about
shit.
steal. Okay, is this a January dump month movie or not? I think, like, I mean, at the time, we have to look at the time. It is the first attempt at it. It's in the middle of, I mean,
I think it's great counter programming. I think it was so smart.
I do. I agree.
I think it was the right call.
This was calculated by Fox.
Yeah.
They knew
what they had.
not
I think
to
it's a
go up
Valentine's
against,
Day
Yeah.
brilliant idea.
and they knew
Like,
not to go up against actual blockbuster season and actual
well,
other
do
superhero
people,
movies.
Do
right?
people want to see a superhero movie at this point? Because let's like, I mean, we're knee deep in it already. Right?
Yeah,
like there's a
yeah.
lot of Marvel already behind it.
Yeah.
So is it smart to do this character, the F-bomb guy, for counter programming instead
Yeah.
of trying to make it pop, and then it sucks, and then it all goes away?
Right, exactly. Well, I
Yeah,
think
it's a January movie for sure.
I think I go ahead. Yeah.
Or sorry, February movie.
the
It's a
bill-
dump month movie.
The build up to Deadpool was insane. Hi. The build up to Deadpool was nutty, right? So
going.
they gave him his full month. They gave him his full month. They gave him literally he didn't really have competition that month.
Yeah.
No, I don't
He
know
really
who
didn't.
else.
And
For a listener, I don't know who else, who they were up against. This is just a top 10 list.
there was I definitely remember. I think actually, I could be incorrect. And you can look at it really fast. I think it was up to with 50 Shades of Grey. I could be wrong.
That's not hard. Okay,
it's
is that
like-
the first 50 Shades of Grey? I
think the
right?
first one,
Okay,
because
so
I
that's
think-
a huge.
I think you're right. It's like that, or like I'm trying to think, or something with like Amelia Clark from like Game of Thrones.
It could have been. It could have been that
Terminator?
wheelchair one.
It was some like
where she takes care of the guy in the
But
wheelchair.
it was a big thing. Like it was an it person
Yeah.
in the movie, and it was supposed to be like, this is going to make money.
The biggest thing I was going to say, this was a time before the oversaturation of Ryan Reynolds. So
Yeah.
like,
No Free Guy.
yeah, no.
He
Free
wasn't in
Guy,
everything yet.
No Adam Project. No, none of
Right.
this. So like I think this was the time where like this
No Hobbs
trailer.
and Shaw.
No Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh my God.
But this was like a time that trailer fucking popped. So
Well, I remember when that dropped at Comic-Con, and they didn't drop it as a trailer; they dropped it as test footage.
yes,
And it was fucking
Which
awesome.
somebody may
it
or
was
may
the
have
highway
not
scene.
leaked.
Yeah. Oh, and he was there. Like he was at Comic-Con. That's like everyone knew it was him.
yeah, of course.
But it was unbelievable, and it was that highway scene.
Yep.
It was him landing in the car.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and like,
Let me tell you a story.
It was unbelievable. Like it was great, and that to me is one of the best ways to get a movie budget.
Number 9.
Like-
Split. January 20th, 2017.
Woo!
I mean, horror movies nowadays are always being put out. Like, I mean, it's not a rule that you should put it out in October, but I would think that you would do the best that you could possibly do. But then you saturate an entire month, and like
They
that's
always
a lot
have
of
horror
to see
movies in
the theater.
January.
Yeah.
January is
I
always
wouldn't call this a horror
month.
movie either. I would call
This
this
is a thriller.
I call it a thriller.
Yeah.
It's more because it's like a psychological thriller,
Yeah,
right? More than an actual.
The one thing I'd be curious about with this, and I'll flex. I'm sure I've told the story on the podcast, but I was on the podcast. But I was at the first secret screening of this in Austin at a Fantastic Fest. They do 2 secret screenings, and sometimes it's a new movie, sometimes it's just like a random bullshit find from the vault from the 60s, and it's like nothing, but it's funny. But like this one, I was able to get in the last minute, and it was a packed theater, and they're like, hey, we have a special thing, blah blah blah. We're really excited to show it. We just got it in under the wire, so you're lucky that you're even getting it. And the lights go off, and the thing starts, and we're like, what are we watching?
Boom.
What are we
M.
watching?
Night Shyamalan.
And it said M. Night Shyamalan, and people are like, what? And Split, and we watch it, and then can I spoil the ending? I guess.
Yeah,
I think it's kind
It's been out for so
it's been
long.
out, but yeah,
We're over the embargo.
so the ending happens, and the music kicks in. Bruce Willis shows up, and the entire audience freaking out, and some guy goes, "Holy shit!" And the credits come, but the lights come on at the same time, and Jason Blumhouse, M. Night Shyamalan, and James McAvoy are standing there, and they go, "Hey everyone, hope you like the movie."
Oh my God.
They did a Q&A and stuff.
Holy
and there's pictures
fuck.
of this every time they talk about it. They always show the picture of them there. But yeah, so I saw it like a
That's
year.
awesome.
I saw it in January. I saw it. September.
Okay, so with that idea,
That's awesome.
having seen that,
Yeah.
and now knowing it was a dump month movie,
I
do you think this could have been
No,
up
I think-
against like a May long weekend?
I think it could have been not a summer release, but definitely a mid release anywhere else. I don't
Sure.
think it did not feel like a dump month, but that
maybe
the thing,
a spring break.
something. But I think the thing I was gonna say was I was curious because I don't remember the advertising for this, whether it was advertised at M Night. I don't think it was. I think he was out of jail, but not fully out of jail. Because I think this
Director
was
jail?
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
I think the visit. This was after the visit.
He was in.
I don't know why
director
the
jail?
visit. I mean,
I thought the visit was awesome.
No,
think
yeah.
the
The
visit
visit
is-
got
yeah.
him out of jail.
Oh,
So
right.
that's
it
why-
got him back on the radar.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if this was like if they were still advertising as an
Well-
M Night Shyamalan film. I guess the trailer's right in front of us.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I think this was. That makes so much more sense of why when. After the visit, he's like, "Let's go back to Unbreak. Let's do all these. Let's revisit all these things." Because I was like,
Back to
where
ones.
is this coming
Back to
from?" now?
ones.
Well,
I wasn't a huge Unbreakable guy, so when that happened, I'm not a huge. I thought it was a cheap knockoff of Superman, and I just wanted to see Superman. That's how I felt.
I'm fine with this being in a dump month because it's something.
James
like,
McAvoy blew my fucking mind, and I love her.
I think he should have been nominated for an award for
Oh,
this.
yeah,
for sure.
I think it's
I think
madness
this is
he
such
wasn't
a rip.
nominated
It's
at
such
all.
a rip.
And
Yeah.
do you guys know like the backstory of this is this character the Horde, or I think it was called the bad
Yeah.
guy
Yeah,
James
yeah.
McAvoy character, the Horde. He
Or
was
the
supposed to
Beast.
be
Yeah.
the Beast. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be in Unbreakable as a side character that he also fights. It was supposed to be another. You know how like old superhero characters with two
Yeah,
bad
He's
guys.
supposed to be like
Yeah.
a Sandman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah.
but it just was too much, and he took it out. And he's like, maybe one day I'll revisit it. And then he was trying to do these $5 million. But he had this idea still. He was like, oh, and so he wrote the film, and the like Unbreakable character was with a different studio. I don't remember which one. But he basically was like, "Oh, it'd be great to tie it in. I'll go see if I can get the rights of just the David Dunn character." So he went to the studio and said, "Could I have this, like the David Dunn rights as a please, just for a cameo thing?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And he explained what he was doing. He's like, "I'm just doing this small little quick cameo. That's all it is. It's kind of an Easter egg." And they're like, "Great." So he didn't tell the other studios. He went and he got Bruce, and they shot this quick scene, and then they showed it to the executives. And the movie ends, and the song comes on, and then the studio like lights come on. They go like, "What the fuck are we gonna do? We're showing a character from another studio." He's like, "It's okay, I got the rights. It's all good. Not a big deal."
That's pretty
But
wild.
It was ballsy as fuck, and then
Yeah.
like gave him the green light for doing Glass, which wasn't very good, but he got a
That's
trilogy.
that's basically like Disney throwing in Spider-Man without
Yes.
telling anyone, and then everyone be like, "Oh," and
100%.
it's like, no, Sony said it was okay."
100%.
And then now we got to do something.
Yep.
So I heard. Okay, so I never saw Glass, but I heard Glass was not. I was a letdown.
I am one of the few that probably enjoyed it, but it's not very good. No, it's
Okay.
not a good movie, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah,
Because
it
again,
was-
Split didn't hit me as hard because I was like, my theater freaked out and I was like, oh my god, people love Unbreakable.
I saw it was just like, hey, this is. I thought this was like a just so you know they're all in the same universe and that's cool. But then when you see Glass, and
Didn't
then you
Sam
see
Jackson die in Unbreakable? I thought he fell down the stairs and broke.
he always breaks. He doesn't.
But he gets
Yeah.
back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Brittle
fuck.
bone
He's,
disease.
yeah.
Fuck me.
Charles, you're good with January. I'm good with January too. Like this all.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Ooh, this next one's a good one.
Yeah.
This next one's
That's a
Cloverfield.
great one.
You know what? This was
Very
such
underrated
a fucking
franchise.
shocker.
Yeah, this
such a fun fucking movie.
one of the
So-
best
and like
marketing.
a fun series too.
fun
Yeah.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like let's go with this giant Godzilla, then let's go underground with
The,
John Goodman. Let's go into space. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
The first
Oh, yeah, the Paradox one. Yeah.
yeah.
trailer for this
Which
was
is watching
Yeah.
it all.
that.
it all came
This
together.
franchise is very underrated.
It's very.
The first
J.J.
trailer
Abrams.
for this was Transformers with Michael Bay. That's where they
You're right.
attached it to.
You're right.
And they
And
didn't
it
tell
was-
anybody.
And it was just the party.
There's no title.
There's no title.
Just a date.
Yes, it was a big party
That's
scene.
a party.
And then all
Right.
of a sudden you hear an
Explosion.
explosion. They go outside and you just see the Statue of Liberty head roll.
That's right.
And then it just cuts to black.
And you hear
in
a
the dates.
roar.
You hear a roar.
And everybody was like Godzilla, but it wasn't
Yes.
Godzilla's roar.
Because Godzilla would.
Oh.
Godzilla would say Godzilla.
And then we
Or
all...
you'd hear the iconic roar, and it
Yeah.
wasn't the iconic roar, but
Yes.
it was like, this
Charles,
is a monster
can you do the
movie.
iconic roar?
I am not.
Sorry.
Narf.
Oh, Godzilla.
I don't have anything.
But just having a date, like, and again, this was, and I think
Oh,
it
the
might have been
internet
like
blew up.
website.
There was a
Like,
website. Because I
right.
remember we got home and
They
we
slowly
all
revealed footage.
started like Googling. And I
Yeah.
think all it was I think there was like footage of something hitting water and that's all we
Yes.
saw. And
Yeah.
that was like,
Yeah.
And it was putting the poster together, which was the Statue of
Yeah.
Liberty with no head.
yeah.
And the city or whatever. But yeah, this was.
Lizzie Kaplan. Oh.
Man, huge.
Oh,
TJ
yeah.
Miller. TJ Miller's the one
Yeah,
filming it the
yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah.
time. Lizzie Kaplan. There's another.
Someone
else.
else, I know. I'm like,
Yeah, there it is. It says in theaters 1/18/2008. Message flying across the screen. Like that's
Yeah.
that ominous.
It was
style.
great.
You know what? For a time where everyone like, if you know, see, I think Dump Month. The average
It's an untapped
movie-
market, man.
But the average movie watcher, I don't think goes January's Dump Month. To nerds like us,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know Dump Month, right?
Yeah.
So if you're just in for content, you don't see the difference. But for
Right.
us, I'm like, I know why it's there, and then now you know how the sausage is made. So then you're kind of like,
And
well,
this-
why is it there, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's deconstruct that.
this is the Wolfman situation.
I was
You were
just gonna
saying,
say.
like you were saying, like
Totally.
this is like I'm excited
it's
to see Wolfman.
supernatural. It's unknown.
Like I think Wolfman could come out in a July and August and it would kill still.
I
'cause
think
it's
this could have
so
come
good.
out on a July or August.
Yeah.
too.
Agreed.
This is
Yep.
an Independence Day,
Yep.
right?
Agreed.
This is
And-
that big monster movie.
And what I love with this franchise is that they've kind of kept the theme of the secrecy. Like even when Cloverfield
You still
Lane
don't
came
know.
out, you
Yeah.
didn't really know, and it didn't show the marketing didn't show anything to do with
Did
aliens.
you see the
nothing.
paradox?
Yeah,
then
and
the-
remember, it just dropped. It just dropped on Netflix.
So I will say I don't think that's a very good movie, but this is my opinion of that one. But I like 12 Cloverfield Lane. The Paradox one, from what I remember, from what I understand, it was never meant to be a Cloverfield film. They just tied that in and shot extra footage at the end. They shot all the footage of
Which
the
does
dad.
it does make a little bit of sense.
Tricked.
Yeah.
And it does make sense.
But I don't
because
remember the
that's
movie that well. I did watch it.
This is January
But that is the
shit.
only
I don't like
tie-in.
it anymore.
But they did. You're right. They did drop on Netflix right after the Super Bowl. They showed that.
Yeah,
like,
it was just
trailer.
like out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah,
it was
that's
out of
how they
nowhere.
did it.
And you know
and I'm
what?
curious to see, are they doing anything more with this? They should. Like, I hope someone is working on something to do with
He's
this.
trying to do Star
And,
Trek.
sorry,
We all know
who's
that.
the director of this? Is it JJ?
No,
I think
he
it's Bad
produced it.
Robot, but I don't think it's him directing.
I'm trying to remember who directed it.
Is
I
it? It's not
definitely
Matthew
remember this.
Vaughn. It's not.
No.
No.
It's someone like that though.
Is it the guy? No, it's not the guy who did Chronicle.
It's the guy who did like
No.
the Don't Let Us In, the vampire one, the remake. Let the right ones in, but like the remake.
Listen,
Well, that was Matt
sorry for
Reeves.
driving
Matt
you
Reeves
crazy.
did.
This is Matt Reeves.
Was it Matt Reeves?
Yeah,
who
this
did
is Matt
this?
Reeves. Yeah.
Get the fuck
I was
out
like,
of here.
not Matt Vaughn.
Fucking cut.
Matt
Look at
Reeves
you,
is the
buddy.
shit.
Yeah. So
man.
JJ did produce it, but yeah, Matt Reeves. But it was something to do with like also Spielberg was involved in this. As
Yeah,
that
as
helps.
EP.
Matt Reeves is awesome, man.
Number 7, Get Out.
Oh baby,
February
Love it.
24th, 2017.
Great.
Amazing.
Jordan Peele's swan
Amazing.
song. Hello.
Great. Also around February time, I think it's a great release for
Also-
this time. Also horror film, like I think horror sells and makes money.
First,
It's
again,
cheap to make too.
Cheap to make. Yeah.
Jordan Peele was a name, but not as a writer and filmmaker.
Jordan
in horror.
Peele was
so this
like-
was a good move for him to do this.
Ramakamacon.
Yeah.
New Jersey State.
let's put it,
Aaron.
No, Treyas, Treyas,
Treyas.
like let's put it this way: it got released February, probably the same week as the Oscars, and he got nominated for Best Picture in one screenplay
In less than 6 weeks.
Sorry,
For the
like,
following
in
year.
the
Yeah,
next
sorry,
year.
following year.
So,
Sorry.
but
But
that-
most movies that come out in that
no.
time don't get
so
anything.
the fact it had legs and relevancy
Yeah.
for a year.
It still gets
Yeah.
talked about.
It
Yeah,
still
that's-
gets talked about.
that's
and they
a great
re-released
point.
it. They put it back in
They did.
theaters because of that. Yeah.
Now
yeah.
being so like that's a okay.
This
that's
movie
the whole
was
point
iconic
of
to
being a
me.
big movie in a sea of mediocrity, right? Like in a sea
Yep.
of no cares.
Yep.
As Great Big Sea
Also,
would say.
people at the
Sorry.
studio.
That was a funny pull.
Studios also
good.
stay away from releasing movies in January, February because it's a known thing they don't get nominated for shit because
Yeah,
everyone
Exactly, 'cause
forgets
it's
about
too
it.
long, yeah.
Everybody
And
forgets about it.
everybody knows
That's
what
right.
just happened 2
That's
months
right.
ago.
Yeah,
That's right.
and,
a month
he
ago,
got
yeah.
he got actor as well. It was a 3 nominations.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
he
was.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
It was a
He
screen.
won for actor.
No, he
No.
won
Did-
for book. No, the
Was it screenplay and director?
Messiah.
Yes, whatever you're thinking.
You know,
Something in the Black
It
Messiah.
was like 2 years
whatever.
after this, I
Yeah,
think. But yeah,
I know the movie you're talking about.
yeah,
My
something in the
brain.
Black Messiah is what it,
He did win for that, but yeah, it was 3 nominations. It got Best Picture.
Oh, that was
Best
the Black Panther
Screenplay,
movie you're talking
and,
about.
yes.
Judas and the Black
Judas
Messiah.
and the Black
That's what it
Messiah.
was. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
yeah. No, and
Anyways,
this is
This movie was incredible. It still is, man.
It's
making
incredible
slavery
film.
a modern day problem with science is
Yeah.
fucking horrific. Like that's so Nazi, and
Well,
I
I love someone who can take something like horror is always seen as slasher, supernatural. He did it in a way where
horrors of
exactly
humanity.
what you said.
This-
The horrors of humanity with a historical element on it.
Oh God,
the
Like,
weight of
I'm
it.
here-
The weight of it is insane in this movie.
Us, Nope.
Yeah. Even
Get Out.
Candyman.
Well,
It makes
Candyman,
sense why
like-
he did Candyman, right?
Well, he
Like,
didn't even direct it. He just
but he
beat the
produced
shit
it.
out
But
of
it
it.
makes
Like,
sense
yeah.
why he produced it. Like
I think he holds a good spot to what M. Night used to do for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
like-
he's
That's a good
I
way.
think he's more Hitchcockian.
He is for sure, but
Oh,
like
for
I
sure
think,
he
but
is,
I
for
think,
sure he is.
but I think like let's say the first like real 3 of M. Night, like Sixth Sense, Unbreakable Signs, The Village, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he's doing like that
Always
thing where
The
he's
Village.
he's combining the that I don't know. There's that weird twist that works enough that kind of freaks you out a little
Yeah.
bit, and it's still
It's
like
the
it's a thriller. It's not, but yeah, I think
He's-
they're both in the same realm, and he's doing that. But his
It's
own
not a
version.
far
He's also-
stretch to go to where he's going.
He's doing things that scare him.
Yes.
And that's what makes it interesting.
but also
still for us.
and still funny because I
Yes.
think M. Night's funny, but also I think like where M. Night touches on religion, he touches more on like social commentary.
Yes.
Totally.
You know,
Totally.
So-
Like opening Nope the way he did. That was such a hard
amazing.
way to start that movie. And I'm
I
like,
love Nope.
Nope is
Nope.
so
Nope
underrated.
makes me so happy.
It was so good.
So good. I
It
rewatched
was
that a few
so
times.
good.
Literally the definition of
The-
shooting night for
I
day.
can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful movie.
I can't remember the actor's name, but
Stephen
the guy
Young?
they got that. Stephen Young's unbelievable. No, the old guy, the filmmaker guy who goes in it.
Oh,
he's the
that
villain
guy.
in
Yeah,
The Crow.
yeah.
He's the villain in The Crow. That's how I always know him.
Dude,
he was so good when he showed up. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't seen this guy in years.
The villain in The Crow. How about the villain in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
who
yeah,
that
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I know I
Like,
recognize him in things,
Yeah.
but
He's
he
been in
just never.
so
He's always a
much.
bad guy. He's
Yeah.
got the voice. Like he
got
can't
the
play a good
voice.
guy.
Yeah. Give me my battery.
And he always has the long
operated
hair
camera.
for some reason. But he was
Gotta
like,
go analog for this.
and
Okay.
Nope is still a geek, a filmmaker geek making
yeah.
movies. Like
So
sorry.
Get Out is a properly planned dump month, I think, looking at it from a introspective.
This is an interesting.
I
idea.
think this one is. Too,
But
to
what
be
about
honest.
Kingsman?
I think this felt like this one should have been probably a summer release and probably would have blown up just as equally. This did blow up, so it's fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
the series has kind of gone astray.
Oh, it
with-
sucks.
Yeah, I
Two
mean,
sucks,
I love Matthew
all of them.
Vaughn.
I saw the first two. I didn't see King's Man because you guys said it was insane. Like bad.
Kingsman has the World War One.
Yeah, it's like the origin story.
The
Yeah.
origin story of everybody.
Kingsman 2 was like when Elton John showed up, I was like, oh my god.
But
like,
Mark
this is
Strong is
insane.
Lancelot,
Yeah.
right? And then in
Yeah.
Kingsman 2, and you've got what's his dick?
Pascal.
Not Pascal. Well, yeah, you got Pascal.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he's the cowboy.
right. Pedro Pascal's the
Oh my
cowboy.
God, that
Julianne
is- that's
Moore.
right, Julianne Moore.
Isn't that right?
But
Oh, right, I forgot about Julianne Moore.
Jonah Hill's buddy in
I have no idea.
21 Jump Street.
Oh, Channing Tatum.
Channing
Oh,
Tatum.
yeah.
He's in it too.
He's in it
Fuck.
too.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
That
he
movie is so
Jeff
unforgettable.
Bridges is
Yeah.
in that fucking movie.
He is.
Like,
yeah, because they meet all their American
they
counterparts.
have
Right.
the
That's what it
bourbon,
is.
and then they
Yeah.
have
They do
yes.
the Anchorman 2 thing.
They
Exactly.
do, yeah,
They totally do
basically.
the Anchorman.
But Kingsman 1, like this first one, is so
great.
good.
So good.
It's so good.
stupidly
It's got the
good.
magic. It's just got that first movie. Like
Yeah,
it's
that-
all
I want,
worked.
I want something
Everything
else
worked.
than Bond.
Yeah,
And you get
exactly.
this, right?
It was
I want
cool-
that, but I don't want Bond.
Yes.
It was cool seeing a Bond who was not Bond, like this rough kid.
Manners,
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
maketh
right.
man.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
It-
It was
it-
cool.
Watching him walk in and kick ass when he meets when he takes Eggsy out for a beer.
Yeah.
And Colin's
Yeah.
just like with the umbrella and
Yeah.
the glasses
Well, like-
and the tech.
Oh,
like,
the test with the dog, and he gets
Right?
the pug. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's killed me.
But
like that
also
whole thing.
the church, like the church scene with the Freebird song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
that,
That
whole
big fight
sequence. I
sequence.
remember
Is
the
that
first time
this
I
one or
watched
is that the
That's
second
this one.
that's this one.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because that's what causes him to get right.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
you're
That's
thought-
right.
you're-
You're thinking the second one where
Right.
But that was the thing. That was the whole point of this one was it got successful. He was supposed to be dead, and they're
Right.
like, we got to
Well,
bring him
that's-
back now.
That's why,
Right.
and they did
It's-
the worst thing they could do
it's
that
the
a sequel
fucking Men in
does.
Black thing.
It is, yeah.
the wild-
yeah,
and then he
totally.
goes and makes Argyle and just shits the bed.
Yeah, I
the
didn't
way
watch
he
it.
filmed that church
It's
scene,
so
though,
fun.
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable.
Super fun, super like
Argyle's
energetic.
really that. I downloaded it. I still haven't watched it.
I'm not
Everyone
gonna-
says it's bad.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I'm watching it for Henry Cavill, but I heard he's
I already
not in it
know.
a lot.
I already know who Argyle is. Let's put it that way.
Oh wait, is the whole movie you're trying to find out who Argyle
Charles,
is? Oh,
Charles,
wow.
which one's number 5?
Okay, this is a huge flex. Black Panther.
Wow, that was a fucking.
So you know what this was, eh? This was straight up Marvel being like, we can make blockbuster money any time of the year.
February
You think it was
16th.
Any time of the
was
year.
cocky?
Yeah.
You think they're like
I think 100%.
we don't respond to a calendar.
Black Panther was one of those characters. Again, Iron Man came out in summer.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was an origin starting franchise. Like, it's so sad what happened with Chadwick.
and a
but-
primary character,
Totally.
not a secondary
And
character.
again, they introduced him in Civil War. So this was like seeing him for the first time since Civil War.
in the
Right.
second
Right?
iteration, you get introduction characters. Those
Right.
secondary characters have to be big fucking names.
Right.
Those are your Silver Surfers, your Black
So
Panthers. Your,
this was Kevin
your Scarlet
Feige,
Witches, right?
Guardian.
Like,
This was Feige going to the investors and saying, look, we're at that point. We got to make more content.
Fuck
and
the
I'm
market.
telling
We
you,
make the market.
I'm telling you, I can make blockbuster money in February. And he did.
I think it's either that, and by the way, February 16, 2018. But like, I think it's either that or
Ryan Coogler's a fantastic director.
also that. But like, I think also it could have been just like them planning out their schedule, and it just happened to land.
Yeah,
I also
you know,
think-
like
because
well,
this
they-
was 2018 was huge. Like that was a lot.
Disney's like
coming.
China. They plan in 50-year increments.
Yeah, yeah,
China.
China. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is
Yeah.
who fucking cares what time of
This
year
was
it is.
like this was all part of the plan. Obviously, they had a game plan, but I think it was Feige saying, "Guys,
Yeah, totally.
let's start in February instead
but
of
no
May."
one, no, I would never have predicted this was going to be
That's
The
successful.
success that it
No.
was.
And I will say
No.
it's not. It's like it's not my movie. Like it was good, but I don't think it's.
But
great.
but I also understand
I get
why it
the
did
importance,
so.
just like
Yes.
Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
my movie.
Exactly. Right.
I understand the importance.
Right.
I understand
Right.
everything about it. But
Right.
yes, it's not not my movie.
Totally.
I like the first one more than I like the second one because
Yes,
the
agreed.
second one had too much fourth wall shit in
Well,
it.
yeah,
It
and-
has passed. Now
they-
we're like we almost take a minute in the movie to recognize the
Well,
actor's death.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
and-
I'm here for the movie.
And what I
Let's do something else for.
Well, what I didn't
for
like
him.
is I appreciate that the second one was like, we're not just going to replace him right now. We'll at least acknowledge that he dies. But the whole movie was like, what do we do now?
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
the
I know.
whole, and it was like, you guys can't start the movie with
Hey.
that
And
and,
then
then
they
have all the
go-
characters be like, what do we do now?
And then they do there was another. He
yeah,
was a son.
yeah. Oh, I laughed, and I think I was the only one that was like,
I was like,
ah!
well, the
And
son
then
has to.
Marvel's like, well, we've done this without a trope. Where do we put one?
purple. He
Yeah, I was like, The son can't have the powers. He has to earn the powers.
but he's made from it. We just haven't
Ah.
showed you that scene.
And then we
Stupid.
bring back Killmonger.
But again,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
I did like that.
And I mean,
these are
that being her
Spirit
Achilles,
animal,
her spirit animal or Achilles.
that was
heel or
cool,
whatever.
but
I
it was
like
also
that.
like.
because you expect it to, like, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, what are they going to do? And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, great. Yeah.
But it was like, again, it was one of those things where I'm like, any excuse to bring Michael B. Jordan in that role, yes. But then when you look at it and after, you're like, what
Yeah,
the
I know,
hell
yeah.
happened?
Just watch What If.
What the hell? Yeah, right. Like, what the hell was that?
Literally, that's what it's for. If
Yeah.
you were going like, what if this happened?
Oh,
we
and
made a
that-
whole
and-
series.
and
about
that's-
you.
honestly,
and he
Mike-
voices him.
Yeah,
That's been my issue with Marvel as of late. It's just like because I watched the latest season What If, and I'm like, right, this is just
Yeah.
you guys like planning and telling me what characters have movies coming out next.
Yes.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
it's a
why
great,
Secret Wars is great because it's gonna be it has to be the reset.
it's all
I don't
back to
know.
Secret Wars, Ian.
I
It
don't
all
know
just
how
comes
they can
back to
keep it
Secret
going
Wars.
after
Wait,
Secret Wars.
Wait,
I
what
don't
was the
know.
Sam Jackson show called?
Secret Invasion.
Oh, sorry, I was like,
Which
you're
was
talking-
so stupid.
one
that
made
they
with
were like-
AI.
I was like, was it also called Secret? My brain.
No, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
Okay,
This is
Ian,
recent.
What's number 4?
It's Meg 3 Gone.
Meg 3 Gone. How many people do you think went? Do
Meg
you want to go
3
see? Do
Gone.
you want to go see Meg 3 Gone?
But Megan, which came out January 6, 2023.
That is
so
the
a year
beginning
and a
of
half.
Dump. We need a flush.
Yeah.
Well, this one did so good. They're like franchise immediately after.
Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
Also another Allison. What's her name? Allison.
Oh,
from,
yeah.
From she's in Get Out, but
Oh,
she's
her
two-time.
dad was the broadcaster. I always remember because of her-
Brian is his name.
Williams. Allison Williams,
Allison
yeah.
Williams.
Yeah.
She's a two-time dumper.
She is a
Two-time
dumper.
dumper winner.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's-
2 hits. Two big
two
hits. Yeah.
I think this movie's fun. It's dumb, but it was like
It worked though,
Yeah,
man. It really worked.
I'm actually gonna predict the next couple. I have not looked at this list. I think Smile's gonna be somewhere on here, and I think Wonder Woman might be somewhere on here. I
Sure.
could be wrong.
Yeah,
but
I didn't really.
yeah,
I
yeah.
skimmed it just to be like 10. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Ronnie
Um,
Chang's one of my favorite comedians right now, and he has a
Ronnie
awesome,
Chang.
He has an awesome cameo. Remember, he's the CEO guy that
Oh,
she
yeah,
kills.
you're right.
He's like, "Well, fuck, no!" She
Yeah,
kills him right in the hole.
I
think she's the one he dances for first
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
I'm a Don Mancini guy. I'm sorry.
Oh,
So when I go
okay.
see my movie with a little fucking weird doll in it, I expect it to be a redheaded nightmare, not a almost sex doll looking Meg
But
3
this-
Gone.
I enjoyed
I
it.
don't find this dog sexual at all.
I'm just kidding. I'm
now
just-
you sexualize the doll for me. I can
I-
never watch this movie.
I'm
I
so
mean,
glad.
she
I'm
sounds
glad I
kinda
took this
hot.
from you.
You say she can't.
She sounds kind of
Meg 3 Gone is a sexy name.
I will. This movie is funny. This movie
It's
has.
fun.
Sure,
this
yeah.
movie is.
I-
It knows it's dumb and,
Yeah.
and it has fun with it.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a very solid movie.
And it announcing a sequel is just like again, it's like Scary Movie 2. Like you're like, sure, let's see where else this goes.
Right,
like you're
right,
right.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I thought it was fun. It did its job. Like we went and saw it because literally, again, going to the theme, there was you might have to pull a little bit. Like there was nothing else.
they're touching each other.
There was nothing else in theaters.
Double Dutch rudder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But there was-
wanted a debater.
There was
This is the week after New Year's Day.
there was nothing else playing.
right.
We love
card
horror
I saw it.
movies.
I went to theaters.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
We love horror movie, and you know what?
Yeah.
It was one of those movies where I was like, I'm kind of glad I went and saw this in theaters. Like, it was fun.
But there is a theme. Like let's be honest. If we think about like everything we just talked about, it's been like anything in January has been horror. February has been like the
Rom-com.
Rom-com. Well, yeah, Deadpool
Fun.
and something like.
Yeah.
it's
well,
been,
and
but-
other than Black Panther, pretty like mediocre
Black Panther
budget.
Black Panther's
Yeah,
even
nothing-
for
that was
everybody.
February again,
yeah.
too. Like, I
yeah.
think-
Nothing $200-300 million budget, right?
So
Like,
the Wolfman thing is making more and more sense as we go through this list.
yeah,
Megan to me is perfect for it because it's horror. I
Yeah.
think like horrors is such a crowd getter.
Yeah.
Right, horrors it casts a wide net. So
Yeah.
like if you're gonna do this in a month where People are
Also, AI.
It gets-
AI is a big thing.
Right.
That's capitalized on a very big topic right now, right?
You know what? Like, I find horror gets the kids out, which I know sounds stupid as I say it out
No,
loud.
because
but it
kids like to
does,
get
man.
scared.
But yeah,
It does.
But like, it's like,
And they're not old enough to do anything else, so they go to the theater.
it's so annoying because like when I go see these movies,
yeah, they're all there.
they're there and they're the fucking ones on their phone,
Yeah.
and it's me going.
They ruined Conjuring 2 for me and Claudia.
Oh, they ruined I think Paranormal Activity 4. Not a good one anyway.
But
You know that
still,
one
that
time-
sucks,
One
though.
time I went to a movie and the kids behind me were so annoying that I pulled my phone out and put it up.
You
high
told me
enough
this.
so that they could see that I was tweeting
texting,
about
yeah.
them.
Oh, that's great.
And the guy behind me was like, "I can totally see that, buddy," and I was like, "Intentional."
Yeah. You're still not taking the clue, you fucking idiot.
Like I'm showing you a sign of the things you're
Yeah.
doing, and I'm
Yeah.
telling the world about how big of an asshole you are.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I can see
hey,
that.
I could see you're doing that. Okay. Prove me wrong then. Do something to prove me wrong.
20-year-old.
Yeah.
Number 3 is
Crazy.
is very near and dear to my heart, actually,
That's
because
a
I too
specific set of rules.
I have a very specific set of skills.
Yeah.
You don't want to know me. Taken. I mean, I think out of all of the old guy action movies, everybody owes a thing to this man.
Well, this was
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's first. Before we knew he was going to be an action guy at his
he was
age.
Rob Roy to me.
This
still.
was his
Yeah, yeah.
first,
He was-
like, because I think
He
everyone
was the
was
Dead
like,
Rabbits.
Yeah. He was Qui-Gon to me.
Quite,
Yeah, right?
right. Like
Right.
he's so many.
never wipe the
things.
blade.
Right? Never wipe the blade. He's so many things, but then all of a sudden he has this iconic line
Yeah.
and classic tough guy
Because
action
what is the
movies.
guy? What is the guy saying? Like, he's like in a very old Russian. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Good luck" or something
Yeah.
like that, and he records it. Oh my god, Claudia had never seen this movie. I made her watch it for the first time in summer, and she was like, "Okay, I get it."
Right before she was going to Paris or something.
I was like, "This is why you got to be safe, babe. I don't know these skills.
Turn your eye. Turn your,
I don't know how to do any of this shit. You're so
Yeah.
fucked."
That's funny.
Rub your chest, your hands. What's the line?
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul. You rub the chest to keep the chest warm. It keeps the body warm.
It's something like rub your chest, your
I'm
body
like-
will do the rest.
And you know what's funny? I didn't know that. And I
But-
remember like looking it up and being like, "Fuck." That's
No,
right.
no, I
Fuck
actually
me. That's
Nolan.
right.
I saw Nolan in an interview saying,
Fuck
"Oh
me.
yeah, I just made that up." I know people have told me, and I was like, don't follow that. That's like something I just wrote.
But it sounds real. Sounds good.
By industry standards,
This should have
this is-
failed.
This
This was a straight. This should have been straight to
This
fucking
was
video.
almost
Oh,
borderline straight to
100%.
video.
It
Yeah,
should have
this
been.
was almost
100%.
borderline
I
straight to
pirated
video.
this, and I remember knowing like, what the fuck is this?
But I'm also saying financially, this is a cheap movie to make.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess
by
so.
definition,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
yeah.
this is probably 60 million.
They filmed
Yeah,
it in
yeah.
a bunch of basements. Like most of the movies in a
right?
basement.
Like, and it's like I mean, something's doubling for Paris. It's not always Paris, but like, I honestly think this is hey, we have nothing, dump it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it becomes a success, and it does.
well,
here
and they
we
were
are.
clearly again. Everyone in
January 30th for date.
everyone
right?
in that
Like, right
meeting
the
room
middle.
was like, Liam Neeson. It should work.
Here is, I think,
Yeah.
the biggest shocker of them all.
What a
I don't think- I don't-
Valentine's Day
I don't-
movie.
Okay, that's funny, but also
February 14th, 1991.
He
the
does
year
love
of
his
our
word.
Lord, the year of our Lord Hannibal Lecter. The Silence of the Lambs by Jonathan Demme.
Wow.
Who also makes a great concert video, by the way, if you've never seen
yeah.
the Talking Heads.
Oh yeah.
That where they're all
I
just
know what you're
coked
talking
out
about.
with
Yeah,
giant
yeah, yeah.
shoulder pads.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the
That's
video.
an
Yeah.
unbelievable concert
So that
movie.
same.
Silence of the Lambs,
I
February
don't.
14th.
I wonder, was Dump Month still a thing in the 90s? Like, was that? I
What
feel like,
was this?
Dump
one?
Month, I think, has been a thing since even the 80s.
Okay.
It doesn't go back to like the 30s and the 40s. It goes back. That's my bad Conan impression, by the way.
We'll put Ben.
same here.
We got to make
Everybody.
Spartacus in January. See.
Well, I'm just trying to think of like what like Jonathan Demme at that point. I
Big
guess,
name,
you know,
Oscar-winning movie.
Philadelphia.
Best Picture Oscar
But
winner.
this is but again, there is a strategy here because there's no way no one was
January-
like Valentine's Day.
another
Just trying
one
to
with
figure
legs.
out,
That's
another one with
fucking
legs.
weird.
Yeah.
that won Best
Picture, Best Actress,
Literally 11
Best
months later.
Actor.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
I think maybe Best Director, possibly. I don't know. I know it definitely won Best Actress.
Stupid nominated.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
I just don't understand the idea. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a reason behind it.
It's
but,
got to
like,
be something to do with Oscars because that's the only thing I can see.
Oh,
So
you know,
right before the Oscars for the previous year,
Yeah.
because that makes no sense.
But I mean, like, what is the marketing here specifically for the 14th?
it just
The hilarity of the fact that it's about
he
a
loves
guy.
his meat and you love him.
yeah, killing women. I don't know. It's just like the joke of
He
that.
loves what he does.
That's
okay.
that's the like I don't. Okay, so let's imagine for a second we're in the
Put the lotion in this holiday, this Valentine's Day.
but it is.
Put the lotion in the
Dude,
basket.
what's on the roof of the fucking studio? Look, it's a fucking basket. They used to have lotion in there. And I had a picture.
funny.
I had a picture of Buffalo
Is that what this
Bill.
is supposed to
That's
be?
what it's
Oh,
supposed to be.
that's so
That's
funny.
The picture of
funny.
Buffalo Bill used to be up there.
That's
It said, "Put the
so
fucking
funny.
lotion in the basket."
That's funny.
That's so funny.
Okay,
Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
let's pretend we're the executives in the room for the movie marketing, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
we're going to agree on when this is going to get released, and one of us says February 14th. You're telling me that nobody else in the room was like, "Guy,
No, somebody
Buddy.
went. It's my
Buddy.
sister's
There you
kid. It's my stepson. Just do it.
like that's someone's cousin that gets fired for that." Like
Just do it.
February 14th.
This kid's movie about lambs should be good.
A movie. Okay, first of all, a movie that won best.
What are they
Pic-
silencing?
It won Best Picture, but it's a movie about a guy who kills women and turns them into shirts.
And he's also
And another guy eats people
trying
with
to.
fava beans and a nice Chianti.
He also is. He wants to do
And-
surgery for
Yeah.
himself
And
as
it's-
well.
and it's-
too.
He'd fuck himself.
Yes.
He'd fuck himself good.
Yeah.
And it's based off a book, which I don't know if the
Yes.
book was that popular. Like maybe there's
Thomas Harris.
was it
It was the number one bestseller.
okay. So I think there
and
is
it's
like
way harder than the actual movie.
okay. So I think maybe like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just that thing. Like I do think like I think everyone in this room is probably we're the people that probably would pick this movie over that rom com whatever they're actually.
Oh, I would
releasing
go see
in
that.
Yeah,
movie.
like if it was-
I think it's hilarious
yeah.
that they did it, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is obviously offensive to somebody.
and I
want to
know the marketing. Like, how did they
Right.
market?
but 91
This
was a totally different time.
Valentine's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Get the
applying.
gift.
I'm applying today's ideology onto
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
this-
Give the gift.
at that time, nobody was like, "This is inappropriate."
Yeah.
Right. But and it's funny because it is funny. It's
Well,
not the date movie that you go
yeah,
see,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
It's
It's
not,
also-
it's not How to Lose a Guy in
This
10
is
days.
a movie that'll make or break a first date relationship.
Yeah, like who comes up with the idea to go see this movie on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Hey, honey, you want to go see
I
Silence of
thought the
Lambs?
lotion part was funny.
Yeah.
You look over and you just pull out some lotion on your first date.
So, babe, should we use
This
lotion?
was not at all what I thought it was going to be.
You want to put the lotion in
I
the
didn't even
basket?
see a fucking lamb.
Yeah.
I don't know why this. It's fumble.
Also, the poster's crazy because it's like what her
The
in
fly,
like
the-
and all the bees over
Or
her
the
face
bees,
or
right.
something.
the death's
Right?
head moth.
That
Right.
that poster
Oh, yes.
scared me as a kid.
Yeah,
'Cause
I remember
I was 5 in that movie.
I remember the covers going with Rogers or Blockbuster, and it was always like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, I don't like this."
Yeah.
My mom would go to bed and check underneath the couch after we watched it with a butcher
For
knife.
Buffalo Bill.
Oh yeah.
No, for fucking Hannibal.
Lecter, yeah.
She was afraid of Hannibal.
She was afraid of Hannibal.
Well,
He's
yeah,
so clean though.
I mean,
Sorry. I was like,
the blonde.
he's so clean. I don't know.
I'm
He's
sorry. It's like the worst fucking line in the whole movie.
the first time I
Multiple
watched this
Migs.
movie, I didn't expect that he was in it so little, and I didn't expect the big breakout scene. Like I thought he was just straight up going to be creepy in scenes, giving her advice.
I mean,
that breakout scene
It's a
is
whole level of creepy when you don't
fucking
blink when
crazy.
you do your
You know-
fucking
Yeah.
lines.
This is a slightly side, but do you remember Joe Dirt, where like Joe Dirt gets
El Dirte, yeah.
stuck in a hole, and they keep telling him to put the
Yeah,
cream
yeah,
on?
yeah,
It's like I never
and they
understood that.
recreate that same exact scene.
I never knew that what the reference was.
Yeah.
when I was
Look at
watching,
that.
but I would watch Joe Dirt. Yeah, that's where I was like,
He's
oh.
even wearing the same robe as
yeah,
him and
I'm like,
everything.
oh yeah, like it's just clicking all now.
It's
like
that and Cable Guy when they're at
I can't even
fucking-
say it. I can't say it. Like,
which one? Which
in
scene?
Cable Guy they're at the dinner at the what is it the
he's-
reenactment
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, and he
medieval
puts the
yeah.
the medieval times and he puts the meat. He's like, "I Clarice."
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah, I forgot about that.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. Wow.
Are you guys
what,
ready for number one?
Yeah.
I don't- if
Yeah.
This makes no sense.
what
I
a
don't know.
studio
I'm gonna guess.
decision.
Okay, any guesses? I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess Smile.
Lion King.
No, dude, that's a
I don't know.
that's a July
Smile's a
1st
good pick.
movie.
Let's see.
feel like
In
Smile.
January, let's say
Or Wonder Woman. Those are my 2 picks. I feel like Wonder Woman came out around this time.
I don't know. January, February. I don't know.
I honestly, my blood sugar's so low. I don't have anything.
Oh, no.
Titanic.
Number one,
Scream.
January 14, 2022. Oh, the new Scream.
Oh, this
The
was
new
oh.
Scream.
Which
Interesting.
plays on the
That-
horror.
Okay, all right. Hang on here. So this is capitalizing.
So
on
Scream 5.
Yeah.
Scream 5.
Yeah.
This is capitalizing on 4 big movies. This is a universe movie. Every
Yep.
universe movie that I
Yep.
know of, every studio executive's like most people in the world able to see it at any time.
Also, it's almost
this is
like-
something you drop in August when all the kids are off.
It's
Right.
also a rebrand of a
Right?
big
Yeah.
Yeah,
franchise
like
yeah.
it's
too, right?
It's it's Wes Craven, it's horror
sequel.
royalty. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
Nev Campbell came back.
Because this is the
Right?
first one after Wes passed away.
Yes.
So this
after
was
4.
Yeah. So this was like a big.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Also
Jenna
going on-
Ortega's not in this one, from what I remember.
No,
She's
she
in-
is.
She's in
she
the-
just
oh,
plays
yeah,
a
you're
small,
right.
2020.
Yeah,
She
but
plays a
she
very
wasn't.
small
She
role.
wasn't big yet.
Yeah, she wasn't. She didn't blow up yet.
Did she grow?
Yeah.
She's always been tiny. Like
No, she
I think
grew
it
a
was
few
what
inches.
she did this and what's it called around the same time.
Wait, Wednesday came out after.
X.
Oh, right, X.
Because this
Oh,
came,
that's right.
X came out,
High
but it was
West.
indie, and then this
Yeah.
came out on a
Yeah.
bigger thing, and then they were like, "Get Jenna Ortega and everything."
I was like, yeah, that's the girl that wanted
Yeah.
to be in the porno in X.
yeah.
yeah.
And the guy's
Yeah.
like, no, honey, that's not. It's
Could
not
you
why I brought
not?
you.
Could you not?
Could you
do it?
not?
Could
Like seriously,
You're
He's
like,
the sound operator.
this is. I mean,
who's gonna do the fucking sound bait?
I.
This is, I get it. This is exactly what we've been saying. This is a dump month studio saying horror dump month, but we're going to do Scream, which is a huge franchise to do.
So
in
it's a
dump month.
planned dump month.
I think so.
See, I think there
I
used to
think
be
so.
a time where
Because
dump
this
month,
made a ton of money too. I'm
Like-
pretty sure.
like dump month must have been a thing that was like a media created thing. Like it's not something the general
So-
public's like, this is fucking dump month. Like
Right.
I read
think
up
this
on
is
this.
like okay,
Some studios filmed.
one of us did.
Some studios filmed movies that were like, ooh, before straight to DVD home video was a thing. They would make some movies that they were like, but some of their contracts would say they'd have to be released.
So
So to fulfill a contract, they would be like, well, we don't make money in January. So if this movie fucking tanks, it doesn't matter because we don't really make money in January.
okay, I like this. So,
So
what
it
you're
started
saying is
something
it was,
like that.
I had a theory about this was
Yeah.
excess content.
Yes.
Shit that you have no home for.
Yeah.
Nothing that had a marketing
Right.
plan. Okay, it's cheap.
Or like those,
Everybody's maybe even the theaters are like it's January.
Or like, you know, those-
take less take, right?
Right.
Like who
those
knows?
Entourage episodes where it's like, in order to get Vinny wants his dream role, but they're going to say you have to do this one first.
Yeah.
Right,
One
right,
for
So
them,
he would
one
do
for-
that
for
one,
commerce,
Yeah.
right? And then that one wouldn't be very meh, or they would just have it. That's why now it's streaming. Those are their straight to streaming videos. That's like what that would be. But there was a time there where they didn't really have a format for that. But then the contract would be like, you know,
Okay.
if this doesn't come out on a major release scale,
You get sued.
You're exactly.
Yeah,
So they'd
where
be like,
now they go,
fuck it, January, you'll get all the
Oh,
release.
Shit, so that's what happened.
You'll
That's
get
what
all the
happened to
major
Roadhouse.
I think I say Batgirl.
or
No.
Batgirl, right? Where it's
Well,
like
Batgirl was-
now it's but
You'll
now
say
they've-
we'll make how much if we
now they have it in there where they're like, no, we can do whatever we want
Yeah,
with it
yeah.
instead of being contractually obligated to release it,
Right. So yeah, before contracts could fuck over creatives,
right?
they
Different
still
time,
had an
right?
obligation. to
Evolution
have
of
to-
industry, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
That's you know what? It's crazy because like Fincher right now is in a dump month scenario where he's got his exclusive deal with Netflix. He just signed on for 3 more years.
Well, and he's doing
but he's
Squid
made
Games now.
He's
I think?
made stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
for them,
Yeah.
and they're like, it'll never be seen.
Or-
but he's getting paid for it.
Or it'll be a
right.
random like they'll just dump it and not talk. Like
But
they
think
won't
about
make
this for a
anything.
second.
Mine hunters.
Right? But just I mean, so expensive. So fuck. Oh
He
my
said they'll
God.
never do another season.
I know. Well, it's just expensive.
That's all it
He
is.
took a
That's
lot of
their
money
beef.
for House of Cards.
Okay,
I don't think they're out of
cancel-
that hole yet.
Take
Yeah,
the
yeah,
money out of Rebel Moon.
I know.
Take the money out of that budget and give it to Fincher.
But, like,
but he's
there's-
doing Squid Games for them, an English version of it. now.
It's in development.
yeah.
It's
That's a
not-
huge.
Beast Wars. It is Beast Wars.
Fuck.
That's a
We need a
huge
flush right there.
But
Yeah.
that's a big production, though. Like that's a huge.
That's huge. But what I'm saying is you've got one of the last 40 years, one of the most formidable movie makers, David Fincher.
Yeah.
Okay, like the guy is pretty much the reason digital became popular.
Yeah.
It's safe to say because everyone was like, if it's not film, it's not art. And it's like, well,
It was-
no, I can.
It was
I can
him and
do-
Michael Mann that everyone was
Yeah.
shitting on for
Yeah.
using digital, and now they all use it.
And now everybody uses digital, and
yeah,
everything
like-
is being stored
'Cause
on hard drives.
people were
and it's
shitting
like,
on Michael Mann for like a decade for using digital. They're like, "You're ruining the industry," and now he's ahead of the game.
You mean
if
we're not
will.
paying for film anymore? We've brought the cost of doing
Well,
it down. We can do
studios
more
asked-
takes, right?
They
Like-
asked studios about Michael Mann, and the studio said he's saving us so much money going digital. Then other studios were like, "Oh."
Yeah, right. It's always about the dollars and the things that don't.
Again,
make
the
sense.
accountants at the studios, that's their job. So the filmmakers have to find a way to appease those assholes. So the way Michael Mann did was digital. And then they were happy
Fine.
forever.
Let me make whatever I want, but I'll make it on your format.
Yeah, and they're
Fair
like,
enough.
okay, well,
I guess
film
we'll
is,
have to figure out a new ratio on digital.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised it's Scream though, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I don't have anything to reference.
I didn't see that
'cause-
one coming.
I'm just like curious what the numbers would have been to like make it, but I guess maybe inflation is not being like I don't know if inflation's being played in this.
Yeah, or like the success, because I guess
I think
out
they're
of
just
all these
taking
movies,
budget versus
right.
hard net.
I guess other than
success.
Black Panther, well,
because I mean,
all these.
I'm sure Silence of the Lambs went on to be a fucking killer for the
Well, Black
DVD.
Panther was also like $1 billion film.
But I
Yeah.
think
like
out
it
of
made $1
all,
billion, sorry.
Yeah,
out of all these movies on this list, this one continued a franchise.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ish.
bad franchise.
Where everything else was
Ish.
like not an original idea, but it
Well,
wasn't a franchise. There's no
Right.
franchise.
Like Black
it.
Panther is part of a big umbrella, but this was like rebranding a franchise, and then what they did.
I remember these 4
after
movies
this?
we did. We're gonna do another one,
and they did 2 more after this, right?
I never
Didn't
really
they?
liked
So-
Scream. I never liked Scream 1. I like.
Scream
I love
1 is great.
I love the original 4.
I like
To me, is
Scream 3 is pretty fun.
Scream 3 was great because it was just making fun of the industry on it.
Yeah.
I like Scary Movie when they have the Dewey and Scary Movies like smell my
You know,
finger.
And it's just,
just in
they're
his
making
butt.
fun of usual suspects.
I,
like
I
the-
almost started rewatching Scary Movie 3 last night because
that's the one with the
Wayans
rap
brothers
where they're
are
making
brilliant.
fun of
Signs.
8 Mile. Signs in 8
Signs
Mile.
and 8
yeah.
Miles and
Kevin Hart's in it, right?
and, and like War of the Worlds and like and there's that
that one
scene
got so
and it's like
fucked.
it's like my favorite and I was thinking about the scene and that's why I wanted to watch it, but in War of the Worlds Tom Cruise gets in the van and he's like telling the mechanics like get in the car with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Get out of the car, man. He's like, no, get in the car. And then, but they do the same scene with Charlie Sheen, and they're like, get in the car, okay. And he keeps unlocking, and locking,
Yeah,
and can't
that's
open
right.
it in the timing. And
Yeah.
he's like, fuck it, and he drives away. But it lasts like a
hilarious.
good 30 seconds,
right.
and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's good.
Because Sydney's a newscaster now, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Well,
Well-
they're bringing them back for another one.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you,
I'm
Wes
down.
Craven. I mean, I'm not always here for them, but I think it's fun
mean,
to see how many times
I
they can
think they're
do it.
constantly disappointing. That's my rule.
So,
I mean, we're at the point where when are they going to go to space? Right,
Scream.
like we're getting there,
Jason
right?
in space. Yeah.
so they'll never be better than the first 4. Like
No.
Wes
Yeah.
had it was Wes's baby for a reason, right?
For the joke of it going like 5 times within.
So funny.
So funny.
Like 8 intros in
Yeah.
the beginning,
Adam
and they're
Brody's a
bigger
cop in it,
star
yeah.
after bigger star after
Yeah,
bigger
yeah.
star.
It was
it's
so
like Anna
funny.
Paquin and Kristen Bell at the couch, and they're stabbing each other at one. Like it was amazing.
It just and then it
The
cuts
meta
in there.
inside of that is
Yeah.
pretty
and that's
cool.
Wes.
That's-
and unfortunately, this new rebrand kind of isn't doing that. They're just
Well, who do you want?
remaking them.
Yeah, who do you want to see in those scenarios where?
Well, Scream, the one where they're like back to New York. They made a big deal about it going to New York,
Well,
but then they just
yeah.
copied Scream too.
The issue with that because all of a sudden it like I thought that movie was gonna be so good.
So did I.
So I was like, wow.
And the marketing was great.
He could be everywhere. Like in my
Yeah.
head, I was like,
And
they're
he's
gonna-
using a gun, and it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what?
I was like, oh
What the
man,
fuck?
they're gonna be in like Times Square,
Yeah.
and there'll be blood.
Yeah.
And they never did it. In
Yeah.
fact, I don't think they shot in New York.
No, and you know what they did? They did a Jason Goes to Manhattan style. Where
Go to space?
Yeah.
They had one scene.
They had one
and it was,
scene and they
had
just
one
never
scene
shot
where it
it.
was
It was
just
at
like
a
stock
Jamaica-
footage.
yeah, it was
and
a-
then
That's like what they were
just-
doing with Bruce Willis movies for a while, where it's like he's
Well,
on the cover and he's in
so-
the first 13, and then not there
Yeah,
until
yeah,
the last
yeah,
act.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So the lame thing, so Scream 2, the big twist,
Big turn.
Sorry to spoil that, is that it's the mom of one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
right. In the Scream 2
Also,
remake,
that's Jason's
it's
story.
one of the kids. It's
Yeah, true.
in the Scream 2 remake, it's one of the kids' dad.
Okay.
And their siblings.
So instead of the matriarch,
So
it's
it's
the
like,
patriarch.
oh
Yeah,
my,
yeah,
oh
right.
my God! So they're just
But did you see
doing it
Did you-
again.
But did you see it coming?
So
It's
you think
always
they were-
you have to. It's always someone they introduce.
Yeah,
It's
Jamie
never-
Kennedy says
So
it best,
I
I
always go
Never say
now.
he'll be back.
I always say it's the cop now, just because I'm like it's supposed to be the one person you never suspect. I think I said the dad just because the dad was like detecting or trying to be a detective, and I'm like, it's gonna be the dad.
They gotta
And then when it
figure out
was,
a-
I was like,
They gotta figure out a way to break the film. Like it's gotta be like no one dies until like the very end, and everyone fucking dies. Like
I said the ultimate twist to Scream for
stab
me
off.
Yeah,
would be
something.
if the last one they do where they're like build it up, it's Sydney. Like
Or-
Nev Campbell is
yeah,
Ghostface.
Or they just call the movie Stab and they make like
Yeah,
a joke
and
of
make
it.
those, right.
Like truly just
So
make
they
it
remake
so meta.
all the original Screams, but as stabs.
as Stabs.
Yeah, I think that's
I think
hilarious.
that'd be funny. You
Yeah.
know, like something they have
Yeah.
to rethink this
And get
completely.
like what I love what it was Luke Luke Wilson and Tori Spelling when
Yeah.
they're showing the
Yeah.
stab in the. Oh man, it's so funny.
And sing.
Yeah.
Listener, if any of these have irked you, we'd love to hear from you. We have this voicemail box that we call the dialogue box. You just leave an anonymous voicemail. If you want to leave a handle, if you've got like a screen name, you play video games, or if you want to leave your favorite movie
If you
character's
have
name.
Letterbox,
If you have Letterbox and you want to go by your Letterbox screen name, we're a Letterbox.
Community.
We're heavy into Letterbox. All
We are.
three of us are on. Jimmy's on too. The show is very Letterbox. All the links for this year and going forward will be Letterbox links. They will be our lists. We will use Letterbox as much as fucking humanly possible because it's so much fun. Like it makes movie sharing
it's-
fun.
it is.
It's like when I
It is.
see you guys watch a thing, I'm like, I'm more inclined to watch it.
Same.
You know? So
Yeah.
I also like when we don't have your typical reviews. Like
Yeah.
Ian has some fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Ian's-
I watch a lot
reviews.
of Criterion. That's why. So I'm like, I go through Criterion. So I watch like random shit.
So do you have it through Canopy? Is that how you have the Criterion?
No, I pay Criterion.
Okay, so I have a library
That's
card.
dope.
Yeah.
And my library card gets me through an app called Canopy with a K.
Yeah, I know Canopy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's where I watch the Criterion collection from. But I only get
You don't
used
get
to
all of them.
I used to buy those DVDs.
I don't get all of them, but I do get
You get a good
ton.
amount.
I get enough that I'm like I'm not gonna. If I don't have the full Criterion and it's on rotation,
Yeah.
I'm okay because that's a lot of shit to
The
watch.
thing you're paying for Criterion is every month they do like playlists or essentially
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
and they like right now they have a Nicole Kidman playlist. They
Yeah,
have a,
they did a
like,
Parker Posey one.
a Parker
in December,
Posey.
and I
They
was
did
like,
a
oh.
surveillance camera one. With
I
one.
remember going to HMV and ordering specifically the Criterion
Oh, yeah.
version of like Memento.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
when you like HMV did that and you were
Yeah.
like making
Oh,
the special request.
Criterion
and
was
you're
like the first thing I knew that was important in cinema. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
if
It
you
was
got-
like if you're meant to own anything cinema,
Yeah.
own these.
I mean,
ones.
there's the U.S. like the archives in the U.S. that has an
oh, they preserve. Yeah,
they
yeah.
preserve stuff, and that's
Yeah.
that's a big one. But Criterion is like is cinephiles for cinephiles by cinephiles.
Yeah.
It's like the FUBU of cinema,
Yeah.
and
It's the official, like, if you can get something that's Criterion stamp on it, it's like you've made art.
Yeah, yeah,
You've
yeah,
made
yeah, yeah.
something that needs to be in
you'll
history.
be preserved. You'll be in
Yeah.
a catalog.
You've
forever.
made
Yeah.
it. Like,
You're
history
right.
needs
Yeah.
to remember this, and they will because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
here.
It's going in the safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though I tell other people
Yeah.
and they go, "What the fuck's Criterion, baby?"
Oh, man. Their
But
Instagram is
there
one
a
of my
tier,
favorites.
Though, Ian, when you're like, can you pay for a tier where like they come with the closet?
No.
Like, if
I
can
wish.
you be a member where
I
it's
wish.
like $100 a month gets you a closet
so
trip once a year?
so they do actually now have a portable closet.
Yeah,
have
they
the
do a
trailer.
traveling one.
Yeah.
They do a traveling one.
It's I one day I'm sure I'll see it. It's in the States mainly in like
If
bigger
it's
cities.
here, we're going.
I've
Oh,
had
hell yeah.
one of
but you have
those.
to just pay for it. It's not free.
Oh, of course
you gotta
not.
pay for the DVDs.
I'm fine with having a moment
But
in the
I've-
Criterion closet and spending some
I
cash.
just don't.
I've
need to
thought
pay.
about that. I've thought every time I watch one where I see like this actor doing it, I'm like, what fucking movies would I pull out of here?
Oh, I know. I do that.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I
like,
just got-
what movies would I pull out?
I just want to
right
go,
now?
and I'm like, how many bags do I get? And I go,
Yeah,
and
like-
then
Like
I'm
Michael
like,
Shannon's is one
This
of
is
my
as much as
I
I
can
can put in my
I'm such a
hands.
happy
It's
little boy. I want to like,
It's
but
so
but
good.
you know what I'm doing? I'm like totally buying them, and I'm like, okay, and do you know what the cost of this? Great. And
Yeah.
then I'm like flipping it on eBay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or, like,
Oh, yeah.
They're probably like
Oh, yeah.
$60 copies,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. For
Because
sure.
like they're limited prints
For
and
sure.
shit.
For sure.
Anyways, listener, if any of these have sparked some sort of feeling inside of you, we'd love to have it shared by you to us. So leave a voicemail, make a comment on Spotify in the comment section, and you can be a part of the masturbation that happens here on the reels. It's always funny when you say that. It's like fart, right? It's never gonna.
Remember when we
The
had them on
dumb.
shirts? We had them written on a shirt once.
We did, yeah, masturbate.
Yeah.
Oh, don't.
We've also we dumped how many times this episode?
There's going to be a lot of toilet flush. Are you going to have a counter, I think, at the end?
Anybody spare a square?
Spare a square.
Speaking of Seinfeld,
I'll say 46 dumps. We said 46, 47
something
dumps.
about that. There's a 47 right there. That was a painful dump. Yeah, so Seinfeld trivia. Buy your tickets when they go on sale March 1st. Little Brown Jug. Go read Ian's review of on Roger Ebert. It's in the link in our bio. Subscribe to the Nerdies. I know what he's doing with the changes, and it's going to be more podcasty, and it's really cool. So get in touch with that. And yeah, if this is your first time, just support the show by subscribing. You can buy our swag if you want. You can do all that stuff. That's great. That's awesome. But like free today, easy peasy, and you want to feel good about a decision you made, subscribe to the Real Debaters podcast, and you never know what you're gonna get and who's gonna be masturbating for you. So I've been Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, God. I've been Clarice.
You
I've
gotta be Buffalo Bill.
been Buffalo Bill. I can't.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
Big fat girl.
That's the one you had to pull
Oh, she's
out of
a
all
big,
the movies talked about
she's a
today.
big fat girl.
It was like Wakanda forever.
I'd fuck me.
Oh, fuck.
I'd fuck me so hard.
I love when Jason Mewes does that in Clerks too.
Shauna does an unbelievable with the lotion. It's like it's so
Put the
good.
fucking lotion in the basket.
Oh,
I
my
just love
God.
when he gets mad.
All right. Bye, listener. Love you. Bye. Bye. Watch all the movies.
Oh, if you have any problems, dial information. Thank you for calling.
Well, I think it's hilarious that movie came out, did horrible.
It wasn't a dump month.
And then Prime and
That was out like a month ago.
And then Prime's like,
Yeah,
we're
it's out
chilling
already.
with Bond right now. We can't decide on casting. I was like, well, it's not the best movie to come out if they were going to announce that kid as being Bond.
Right.
True. Yeah.
I just find it a little
The
funny
guy
that
in-
they're taking a
the
break
guy
from
in
casting.
Craven
Aaron Taylor,
can't be announced as the guy in
No.
Bond.
No.
Not
I
right
don't-
after a huge shitty movie.
I'm
No,
also not the
that's
biggest.
not-
I'm not the biggest fan.
Of him being Bond.
Aaron-
Neither am I.
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I don't
Yeah.
like the idea of them doing a young Bond.
also
I'm not
done-
into it.
He's fuck man. He's kind of everywhere too much. Like,
Yeah. When he showed up in Nosferatu, I
I
couldn't
know.
take him seriously.
I know, me either.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
I
just
mean,
didn't expect it. I'm
I
like,
didn't know he was in that. So
yeah, I
was
didn't
like,
expect it. He was good. Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. He's
but
good.
like, look at
but
like not again tangent, but I look at his filmography one day. It's like nuts. Like
it is.
Oh, he's done so much work.
so much. You know?
Yes.
Well, he's a child actor too.
And I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, Kick-Ass.
That's how his wife found him.
I like the idea.
I don't know what that means because I don't know who his wife is.
She's much older than
she's
him.
And I don't have anything wrong with that. But
Like
when you do
18 years,
when you
I
do
think?
the math
Yeah.
and you go
Well,
backwards, you're Jay-Z.
They got married when he
Like-
was like 22 and she was 40, I think. So that's
But
weird.
that's not when they met.
No,
I'm
no.
snapping my fingers.
He played
I mean,
John Lennon on that movie, and
yeah.
she directed it. That's where they met.
Hot.
Hey, listen.
What?
I'm with
living
an
a dream.
I'm with an older woman. I don't have. I'm not complaining here. I get it. But like, I'm just saying.
Humble brag.
Color in between the lines a little bit there, lady.
My last little rant about Bond. I just want them to do.
We're
I
gonna
want
dump.
them
I
to-
swear, listener. We're
I
gonna
want them
dump.
to cast a Bond like the old days, where that role made that actor.
Yeah,
He's done a
agreed.
lot
Agreed.
of
You don't-
shit.
you don't want-
man.
you don't want to
him
name-
being Bond is
Yeah, I
weird because I'm
respect
like,
that.
he's kick-ass. He's got like, I can
That's
name all
why-
these
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
characters.
That's why I think
already.
Daniel Craig was a good pick because
Totally.
it kind of made Daniel Craig.
And then you went back and you're like, man, he was in this.
We don't have Knives
he
Out
was
if
in
we don't
this,
have
right?
Bond.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So I think they should cast someone that's
A
like
Southern occupado.
talented,
We don't
but
have-
also we don't know yet.
yeah, we don't have
know.
queer.
We don't have queer.
Oh my god, I
We-
love that he's just doing whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have all of. We don't have cowboys and aliens.
Yeah, you know what we do have?
What?
Layer cake.
We. Oh,
Good
We
Yes.
never got a layer
Like-
cake 2 though.
I know that's true.
It would have
want
been
another
so
one.
good.
They could still do it. They really could.
I think
They
yeah.
really
Is
could
everybody
do it.
still alive?
No one watched Layer Cake besides
Everyone
us.
should have though.
Yeah.
I feel like that was what they were like Bond.
Produced by Guy Ritchie.
Because
Yeah,
well,
that's
and that
right.
was
That's why it's
Matthew
got
Vaughn
that flair.
Yeah.
and Matthew Vaughn directed that,
Yeah, I
right?
believe so.
yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.